Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto and Oliva Armstrong Full Metal Alchemist. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by peachysnowFan and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. In front of Naruto are the 9 Bijuas that joined him. They all stare at each other in curiosity. Matatabi broke the silence, I think we're in limbo. Shukaku gave the two-tailed cat a bewildered look, practically saying, are you sure? The blue giant chakra cat hissed at him, does it look like I've been dead before? Frightened, Shukaku quickly retreated behind Naruto away from the scary cat. The silence soon broke out an argument among the Bijuas. Naruto was still staring blankly at the white space before them. Remembering his last moments. Flashback. Sweat dripped down on the blonde's face, all he can think of is Sasuke. The whiskered teen yelled. After beating Madara and Kagaya, the rabbit goddess. Then gaining the Sage of the Six Paths blessings. He was able to separate the Juubi into the 9 chakra beasts again, but Sasuke turned on them. His old friend still wants to destroy Konoha. Worst of all, Sasuke harmed Sakura. When Sasuke activated his Manjutsu Sharingan again, Sakura quickly caught the ill intent radiating off of Sasuke. She went to interfere with his plan before he can do anything, but he soon caught her in a chokehold. Before Sasuke can use his Sharingan to control the 9 freed Bijuas, all 9 sealed themselves back into Naruto. Sasuke lashed out in anger and starts attacking their weakened comrades. He was preparing his Kirin until Naruto stopped him, sending both of them tumbling away from the shinobi forces. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the dark-haired teen, who have blazing red eyes and covered in a giant-looking blue samurai. The blonde boy hissed out, stop this. Konoha is your home. We already defeated the ones behind the massacre. A smirk appears on Sasuke's face, dope. Did you really believe that's enough? I'll raze every shinobi villages to the ground and give them real fear of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke switched his Sharingan to form the Rinnegan. Endless purple ripples showed on his left eye. The Uchiha vanish from sight and reappear in front of Naruto. About to deliver a kick to the blonde, but Naruto brought his arms up in time to prepare for impact. The fight commences as both teens tries their hardest to defeat the other. The dark-breeding Uchiha have the upper hand in this fight as Naruto is still holding back. Damn, I can't hold back any longer. He'll wipe me out at this rate. Naruto. The 9-tailed demon fox roar, catching the blonde's attention. The Uchiha brat is already insane. Just kill him already. Kurama growled. The teen denied. But, I can't abandon a friend. He can still be saved. All 9 Bijuas groaned at the naive boy's reluctance. Naruto pushed Sasuke back enough distance to be safely apart. Please. Sasuke, don't do this. I won't hold back anymore. Got that, you bastard. I will beat and bring you back home. Dadabeo. Naruto, half pleaded, half proclaimed. The brooding teen sneered at the spiky hair blonde. That'll never happen. Let's do this, Naruto. One shot only, we'll see who is the strongest. Sasuke forms a Chidori in his right hand and sped off, gaining momentum. Naruto quickly formed a Rasengan, powering the chakra orb with whatever sage and spare Biju chakra he had left. Launching himself toward Sasuke, Naruto closed his eyes and put all the strength in him to beat Sasuke. Not noticing his chakra sphere did overpower the Chidori. Colliding in a huge blast, but Naruto's sphere is still active. The direction he continued to aim his Rasengan made impact toward Sasuke's head. Blasting him, the last Uchiha became headless with his right shoulder also ripped from the blast. Naruto still felt pain from the blast wave of the Chidori, he hoped he'd beaten Sasuke. His thoughts were interrupted when a shrill shriek tore the air. At that instant, Naruto forced his eyes open to see what happened. The ghastly image of Sasuke's bloody form greets his vision. Naruto stared, feeling like all his oxygen been vacuumed out of his body. The still blonde fell down to his knees, softly uttering, Sasuke. Blank eyes staring at his used-to-be best friend. A wave of nausea hit the whiskered blonde, he did not want this to happen. No. I couldn't have overestimated Sasuke's ability. There was no way his rival could be dead. The Sobu calm voice finally reached the boy, Naruto, it is for the best. Naruto shook his head as the tears fell. Son Goku also gives his impute to the blonde. If you had paid attention to the Uchiha's body language and tone of voice. He was dead set to destroy everything, nothing would have changed his mind. A moment of silence passed. The weary blonde sigh, I know. I only just realize it, but I still can't believe it. Kurama snarled, never liking any Uchihas. Kid. There is nothing you can do now, you saved your village. Naruto was going to speak more until a scream pried him away from the Bijuas. There within a few meters stood an enraged screaming and tearful Sakura hurtling every obscenities at Naruto. In a murderous glare, the pink head snarled. How could you? Naruto gulped, feeling more guilt and self-loathe. Sakura, it wasn't like Sakura cut him off. Save it, demon. You ruin everything. He couldn't believe Sakura called him a demon. That's not all. Sakura went into a rant how she endured all his stupidity and used him only to get closer to Sasuke. Her precious Sasuke always ignore her in favor of him. It hurts to know your second best friend and teammate pretended and lied to you for all these years. All the other surviving ninjas in the shinobi allied forces started gathering, ready to congratulate Naruto, but became quiet when the Pinket shrieked. I always hated you. You good-for-nothing annoying brat. I was supposed to marry Sasuke, Sakura wailed. Everyone in Konoha became shocked and disgusted, then again no one liked Sakura. Tsunade, having enough of her students' disgraceful behavior, ordered her to cease and get her priorities straightened. Naruto continued to watch Sakura as she became frustrated. Naruto this. Naruto that. Always Naruto, Naruto, Naruto. Her emerald eyes flickered with hatred. Having enough, Sakura rushed towards him and did what she always had done to him in their youth. Except this time, she put enough force to drive her fist through his insides. Missing, almost obliterating the heart if Naruto hadn't dodged in the last minute when he stopped feeling guilty and heartbroken. A lot of ninjas broke into a panic. Sakura have been restrained and knocked out by a pissed-off and merciless Hinata. Hinata destroyed Sakura's chakra pathways. Tsunade has a horrified face, her grandson been attacked by her crazy student. Shizune. Emergency now. Tsunade screamed. Both women scanned his injuries, he have destroyed organs, blood vessels, and a broken pieces of his ribs. Shizune face twisted into worry, Lady Tsunade, Naruto is not regenerating. Tsunade scowled, concentrating more. His chakra is dangerously low to the point of exhaustion, and there's no sign of the tailed beast's chakra. Shizune, a few bone fractures are pierced into his heart. Lady Tsuna coughing was heard coming from the now conscious blonde. He reached his hand out and gripped his grandmother figure hands, stopping her from healing him. Bachan, I told the Bijuas to not to heal me. Naruto coughed out more blood. Tsunade, not understanding, cried out. Why Naruto? Still gripping Tsunade's hand in a firm gentle way, I want to be with Sasuke. We're brothers, Bachan. Both of us share the same fate, we know in our hearts that we'll die at the same time. One cannot exist without the other. Tsunade desperately wailed. No. Naruto don't. Naruto gave a smile towards both crying medics, I'm sorry, but I can't live in this world feeling guilt in my heart. The lights in Naruto's eyes vanishes, becoming dull, dread filled in both women's guts, until Tsunade cried screaming for Naruto. The passing of their greatest hero, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the fourth Hokage and yellow flash of the leaf, Minato Namikaze, and the second Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox, as well as the red hot-blooded habanero, Kushina Uzumaki, became the saddest moment at the end of the war. Every shinobi agreed that the trial for Sakura Haruno will not be lenient. Flashback ended. The Bijuas argument silenced when they heard a familiar voice. I'm glad to see my children again. Naruto and the tailed beasts were surprised to find Hagoromo, the Rakuto Sennin, here in this white space. The sage of the six paths chuckled, seeing their faces as if they had seen a ghost. Which, technically they are dead, so being a ghost is not far-fetched. Ah, was Naruto's most intelligent way to say a simple hi. The old sage smiled in mirth amusement at the blonde. You know, you'll get reborn to another world soon. Both your parents, that toad sage, and the Uchiha who had just moved on, believe you should another chance in life to be filled with innocence and happiness. This shocks the blonde whisker-faced teen. The tailed beasts are staying silent, knowing whatever decision their Jinchuriki makes, they will follow him wherever. The teen was practically speechless, why would Sasuke agree for this? Sasuke. Going wide eyes, he can't leave without his brother. What about SS Sasuke? Naruto sputtered out, still feeling guilty for his death. Hagoromo gave a comforting smile to the young Uzumaki. He met his family, gotten a long lecture from his mother too. Although he is serving time for a couple of years for his deeds before he can join his family again. He did gave a message, he said, don't be such a dope. I know you didn't mean to kill me, you did what you could to protect everyone. You better take the chance, dope. He's not much of a talker, took me a few hours to get more than a sentence. Naruto laughed, then grew a tick mark. Hey. That bastard, the blonde growled. Naruto sighed. If team said so, I'll take that chance. He doesn't need to tell me twice. The white-horned sage smirked, good, now you won't be reborn immediately, until a few years. We'll take this time mastering the few gift I had given you, and you get to learn and spend time with your parents. The next few years in the afterlife, Naruto had a chance to bond with his parents. He had a crash course of both Namikaze and Uzumaki clan styles and techniques. The Hiraishin pissed him off to an extreme, but he did enjoy his father's teasing remarks. Learning how to do his mother's unbreakable adamantine chains was not that hard as his father's technique, but his mother's way of teaching was to beat the shit out of him. He somehow did imagine once when he learned of his parents, if they had not fell during his birth, that his father teaches in theory and his mother in practical. Well, now he knows he's somewhat right, his father is also practical, but he doesn't beat him to the ground. Mothers are insanely scary, he should have listened to Shikamaru. Now Hagoromo's training is a nightmare. Naruto wanted to bang his head against something. He disliked chakra control exercises, but no. He have to have his control perfect for the sage. Naruto was happy for shadow clones, his training with all the elements went faster to complete. Naruto even managed to relearn all of Gramatsune's techniques that she demonstrated to him once and failed to teach him a simple palm healing jutsu. He even learned her super strength technique. Hagoromo told the blonde that the world have a universal law called equivalence exchange. The sage explained that the world runs on more advanced technology, alchemy and alchemy. Naruto was baffled to find out chakra doesn't exist in that world. The sage went further that alchemy is the science of understanding the structure of matter, breaking it down, then reconstructing it as something else. Humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. To obtain, something of equal value must be lost. That is alchemy's first law of equivalent exchange. The Rakuto Sennin drilled that into his head. The sage also made Naruto promise that he'll never do any human transmutation unless he wants to lose his life. Then alchemy is centered on a concept called the Dragon's Pulse. The names sound ridiculous to Naruto, unless they have dragons, then it would be awesome seeing one. Alchemy uses a constant flow of Kai from the earth, which the country of someplace called Shin can use medical alchemy. The concept seems more like a fusion of nature chakra and yin-yang release techniques to Naruto. On their last week the sage said it was already bad enough he'll continue to be a Jinchuriki in that world. Hagoromo called Naruto extremely expensive as he had to barter with another so-called god named Truth in order to allow Naruto to have a safe passage and still be able to keep his memories and chakra. Reasons why he's not allowed to perform human transmutation, the sage won't save his ass in that predicament. The time finally came to an end. Naruto said his goodbyes to his parents. All the 9 Bijuas had their last hugs from their father. The sage beckoned Naruto to follow. The group soon approached the gate as the sage had called it. They're sitting in front of the large door as a black and white outline of a body containing a creepy smile. Hello, is this the person you traded heavily on? Naruto had to note the creepy childish voice. Hagoromo laughed, what do you think, Truth? Truth's smile became a thin line, very well. Then Truth's creepy grin came back full force. This is the world's gate. Normally you would have your own gate of truth, but you can't do alchemy or originally belong in this world. The gate contains all the world's answers. You must pay an equivalence for them, but chakra is not allowed in the agreement. I can always mess your life and form however I see fit in your new life, do you agree with the bargain, shinobi? Naruto scratched behind his head, a habit he picked up by Minato. Do I have a choice? Truth again with his big grin, snorted. No, just like that, the conversation ended and millions of black hands came out of the gate and dragged the blonde inside. Truth turns to Hagoromo, not smiling. You better be right that he can help with my pest problem. The sage just grinned at Truth's comment. Back to Naruto. While inside, Naruto was having a hard time calming his headache with all the vision he's seeing. No wonder they said too much clones to transfer memories are a terrible idea. A chill ran down on the boy's spine, everything went dark. Naruto escaped into his mindscape, all the Bijuas are still with him. He's glad that he won't be alone in this world. Sometimes Naruto would drift in and out to see if the darkness had changed. The only sensation he gotten was feeling warm. The Bijuas noticed Naruto's form is changing, they kept quiet about it though, more for laughs when Naruto finally noticed what happened to him. One day, Naruto feel an unknown force is pushing him out, he counted down a few hours later, no progress happened. He began hearing multiple voices from far away, or was he inside water? Every minute the voices would get louder. Finally. We're getting out of here. Naruto had told the Bijuas in his mindscape before getting out to see the outside. Naruto knew he was out when a rush of cold air touched his skin. Naruto realized he was a baby again when his complaints turned out into a wail of discomfort. The only thing he was not prepared for was Roy Mustang. Congratulations, it's a girl. What the fuck? Roy Mustang, a 17-year-old who is attending a military academy, sat waiting for the news of his supposed child's birth along with his best friend Maze Hughes who came for support. Sure. This is the first time he will believe the child is his, considering the young girl he slept with, personality and looks, did not ring as a slut or even a person sleep with anybody to begin with. Although Roy hoped the child isn't his, he is too young to even raise a child. He also has his ambition to become a state alchemist, it is a dangerous job. He doesn't plan to be committed to anyone yet. Mustang eyebrow twitch, listening to Maze rambling about a woman named Gracia that the man is planning to ask out. He wished he hadn't left Berthold Hawkeye, maybe this would have not even happened and he could have learned how to do fire alchemy. Pretty useful for right now, Maze is close to making his ears bleed. As Mustang ponder how it is not a good time to be a father, especially with the war in Ishval still not resolved. A group of nurses and doctors rush into the delivery room. Both men shared a concerned look. Something went wrong during the birth. A few more hours passed, both men became anxious waiting for the result. If this was Roy's child, Roy at least want the child to have a chance to live. Hell. Any child should have a chance in life. The doctor finally came out looking solemn, but they quickly changed their attention towards the nurse holding a pink bundle. Roy Mustang. The nurse called. Roy nodded to verify it's him. The nurse smiled sweetly at him. Congratulations, it's a girl. Roy stared blankly at the bundle, thinking the little babe would erupt any second. Taking his chance, Maze gushed how lucky Roy was to have a girl. Roy ignored Maze and gently took the baby from the nurse, with the nurse helping him how to hold an infant when Roy peered down to see how the child looks. A huge burst of laughter came out of him, catching the attention of those in the hallway. Roy Mustang felt relieved the child doesn't share anything with him or the mother. Roy, why are you laughing? Did you finally embrace the cuteness of having a daughter? Maze gushed out. Roy scowled at Maze. No, it's because the child is not mine, Roy pointed out. Stone-faced, Maze quickly peered down to see the girl. Mustang is right. The baby have 6 weird whisker marks, 3 at each cheek. She also had vermilion color tuft of hair with a section at the right, having a few tuft of sunshine blonde hair. Hughes can tell the girl is going to have one blonde streak in a jungle of red hair all her life. There was no such thing as red hair. The only hair coloring that are common in this world are shades of black, brown, blonde, and white if they count the Ishbal in hair coloring. The most striking feature the child have is the lightest clear cerulean eyes he have ever seen. They're hard to resist, those blue orbs keep sparkling when you stare straight at them. The child clearly was an alien compared to both of her parents, or in Roy's case, he may not be the father. Looking more closely, she does resemble Roy by having similar eye shape. Both father and daughter have narrow-looking eyes, not to mention the skin color, but he chalked it up as being a newborn. The doctor still in the hall cut in. The mother of the child last request was to name her Naruto Mustang. A weird name, but she said she had a feeling before she fell into her death. If the child is really not yours then the girl will have to go to the orphanage. Both Maze and Roy grew grim at the thought that the woman who brought Naruto into the world died in childbirth, but Roy cannot keep the girl, it's obvious she's not related to him. He can care less if the girl ends up in the orphanage, at least he's not the father of this child. Before the 3 men can come to an agreement to send the child away. The old woman felt a slight push for her to do something, so she did. The nurse spoke up. I wouldn't be so sure if the child is not yours. She could have inherited her looks from any one of her ancestors. Look. She share the same eye shape and pale skin as you do. Roy compared himself and the child in his arms again. They do have the same skin tone and eye shape, but still that can't verify that he's this child's father. Maze sighed as he can tell the nurse believed the girl is related to Roy. Glancing at Roy, he could tell from all the 8 months of knowing the pregnancy, his friends still cannot believe he might have a kid. How about doing a DNA test right now? Maze chirped. Just like that, Roy was the first to agree half-heartedly, believing this will finally get the child away for good. The old nurse seems ecstatic with the suggestion. We don't have to wait for days. We have some vacant to do this today. The doctor also agree wanting to get this care over with already. With that, the old nurse dragged all 3 men into the DNA testing room. They quickly got a machine and acquired both Naruto's and Roy's blood. They waited for the result and to all 3 men's surprise, it came with a match. The old woman was excited that she did the happy dance right there. Roy couldn't help to stare in disbelief. The little strange girl is his daughter. Maze was about to congratulate Roy for being lucky to having an exotic daughter, but Roy denied the existing evidence and insisted the machine must be broken. The doctor retorted that their equipment is not broken. So for the future Flame Alchemist's sake, they did the test on all the other machines, all of them glaring out that Roy and the little girl matched. And that day Roy Mustang gave a sigh of resignation, he finally have a daughter named Naruto Mustang. Time, born a few hours past midnight on October 10, 1902. As a young single father still attending the academy, Roy was worried that Naruto would cause problems. Instead, it turns out Roy was lucky Naruto was a quiet baby. She only makes noises whether she's hungry or needs a diaper change. Roy had contemplated sending the girl to Madame Christmas, the pyromaniac soon felt that was a huge bad idea. Months later. Her first time attempting to walk towards him, she barely learned to crawl the same day. He did notice she was mentally developed as an infant. Sometimes he was thankful Maze comes barging into his apartment and helps taking care of Naruto. He had to glare at the man for constantly taking pictures every moment in their lives. Especially that day Hughes took so many pictures taking in everything when Naruto said her first word to Roy, da-dee-da. Mustang just continued reading the newspaper, sipping his hot coffee. Naruto still on his lap hugging him. You know Roy, smile so I can take a picture of your fatherhood. Hughes earned a smack that day, his flashy camera ruined the moment. Mustang was amused when Maze complained about the little toddler lays around staring at the sky. Mustang choked back a snort, claiming the baby was probably curious about clouds. Hughes went into a corner, crouching down with dark clouds above his head. Can't believe it, she inherited his laziness. Hughes muttered, then sighed. Like father, like daughter. Mustang didn't know if that was supposed to be an insult. In 1904, 2 weeks after Naruto's birthday, Mustang came back to his apartment and saw his daughter already asleep. He went into his study room. He saw many of his books dropped by him on the floor, they had different page numbers from when he last read. He may be lazy and a slouch, but he can spot if someone disturb his things. Instantly he knew it was his daughter. The next following week, a bunch of learning books from toddler age to college level was dropped all over Naruto's playroom, hoping this would keep the child occupied. In Naruto's bedroom on a small children's shelf, Roy placed an introduction to alchemy book. During 1905 to 1909, Hughes gave him so many lectures about nurturing a child. Mustang admits he have been ignoring Naruto to an extreme ever since his master had died. That day to go back to acquire the secret of fire alchemy, he left the fiery redhead to play outside while he was planning to get Riza cooperation by sharing his goals. Roy didn't want a hyperactive short-temper brat making a havoc inside the Hawkeye's residence. He rectify his mistake the next following week for leaving her by taking Naruto with him to view how he'll practice fire alchemy in time for the exams. He was pretty sure she had fun watching him blow things up. The rest of the year until 1907, Naruto was mostly in the care of Gracia, or if she was busy then the redhead is all by herself. One day Mustang received a surprise mail from Naruto's birthplace registry that Naruto name had been changed with paperwork of an added guardian. The papers read Naruto Namikaze Armstrong Mustang hereby in joint custody of her father guardian Roy Mustang and adoptive foster mother Olivier Mira Armstrong, more statements on what this could entail, and then the official signature from the town. Mustang dropped the documents and rang for Maze quick. How did this happen? He does not remember signing anything about Naruto. Maze's line been picked up, hello? Hughes, I need answers. Roy demanded. Oh Roy. Are you asking about how my marriage is going? It's going great. When are you? Roy growled. Hughes. What do you know about Naruto getting adopted by Armstrong? And not just any Armstrong, but the Ice Queen herself. Roy ordered, then continued. When did this happen? Wasn't Naruto supposed to be with you? On the phone he can hear Maze chuckling nervously, he can imagine the man is sweating, thinking he would flam his ass. In this case he might. Well, it was November 12, 1906. Okay, that was the day the higher ranks assess the new state alchemists and decide whether to be put under their command. Chance for the Briggs General meeting his daughter, probability would be 2 out of 5 if both of them were crossing at an intersection. I may had lost her for 5. Hers wasn't completely lost. The first stranger she met is General Armstrong, you could say they gotten scarily attached to each other. On the other side of the phone, Maze can hear Mustang singling him out like a cat waiting to eat him the mice for breakfast. How long was this going on? Were you in on this? Maze signaling Gracia that everything is alright goes back on the phone grinning proudly. Yup. Almost a year. Naruto needed a mother, and according to her, Olivier Armstrong is a badass. Mustang knows Maze just ended the conversation by hanging up, he can't wait to get his hands on him later. Having a massive headache, he needs a drink. In the year of 1908 to 1909, all state alchemists had been called to join the war with Ishval. Commands wants all alchemists to reap and destroy a whole race of Ishbalan. Roy Mustang became a war hero, using his flame-based alchemy to destroy everything in his path. When the war ended, he can't bear to look or be near his daughter without remembering the few children he burned in the war. If he include his rise in the ranks, he became a more busier man. With his new goals to become fur, he thinks it's better to hide Naruto, that way she'll never get involved in his mess. Naruto's turn. Naruto curse her bad luck, yes, she got used to calling himself a she now. No need to look like a gender-confused idiot in this life. Going through puberty as a boy was horrible, living as a girl this time Naruto wants to end her misery when the time comes to experience what Kunoichi have always been ruthless about. Even shy Hinata Hyuga harmed him when he suddenly asked her one time if she had something called a period. Naruto remembered the stuttering girl turning unbelievably red, of course he thought she was sick and the next moment he was sent sky high. A bright slap mark was shown on his face that day. He was never good with girls to begin with. This world god truth, as the mysterious creepy thing call itself, seems to be keeping its word about messing her life whenever the thing wants. She hung her head down, depressed, no matter how many times she escape into her mindscape. Her spirit is that of a female and well she doesn't mind, in this life she looked like a carbon copy of Kushina with a blonde streak at the right side of her hair. She still have her original father's cerulean eyes and spiky bangs that are framing down on her face, at least it's not too spiky, it's actually pretty soft and fluffy. Feeling like a giant brick fall down on the top of her head, she tried her best bonding with her new father. Her first opinion of Roy or dad was that he's too lazy and a womanizer. She can't help falling into depression on how much her father resembles Sasuke without the duck butt shape hair or the brooding vengeful attitude. Damn it, she wanted to beat the bastard's cocky attitude sometimes. Even if he had her father still chase after pretty girls wearing miniskirts. She is glad her father is distant, she had time to practice her crappy ninja skills into a suitable control for her physical age. Blessing the Rakuto Sennin and Truth for allowing her to retain her Uzumaki and Namikaze genes. Training all over to the skill she earned from her previous life could have been hell. Her new father figured out she was going into his studies, he dumped a bunch of books in her playroom with a note to be proficient in everything if she doesn't want to go to school. Naruto would have said he was the best if it wasn't for failure is not an option tone in his note, her eyebrow twitches at all the etiquette books she found. Guess she have to learn them if she wants to survive in this world. Then her father regained some brownie points when she found a book about alchemy in her room, now she's able to learn the basics first. She found another note inside, his brownie points lesson again. She has to learn this last. He expects her math and science to be perfect along with having common sense. Naruto gritted her teeth, screw you bastard, I can be proficient. Naruto was 2 and a few months away to be 3, her father took her to his old alchemy master's home and left her surviving outside for almost a week. Anyway, back to why they are at his master's home. Well, Berthold Hawkeye passed away due to an illness. Since her father left her outside at a sizable distance away from where he went, Naruto is hiding on a tree observing. She clicked her tongue in irritation, she bet the man is trying to smooch his way into the blonde's pants or try to get the lady to agree letting him see the notes on the infamous flame alchemy Roy always mumble. Naruto soon made a clone of herself and the clone hinged to look like a fly. If she wants to learn fire alchemy, she might as well memorize the notes herself, right? Naruto let out a low whistle, the blonde lady's father tattooed his formula onto her back. Then again she did seen worse in many of Orochimaru's hideouts. She would feel sympathy for the lady, but she made her father neglectful of her for days. Naruto, like Kushina, she will hold a grudge and deem that person in her don't associate list. Naruto took advantage of training and her father's flames as cover-up for her elemental manipulation. She silently went back to where her father had placed her and to make the man squirm. She told the Bijuus to stop her body from healing any wounds she had acquired. Wait till Uncle Hughes hear about this. The young Uzumaki grinned evilly. The few months she was with her father was scorching hot. Literally. Her father finally mastered flame alchemy in time for the exam. Behold, his new title is the Flame Alchemist. How simplish wish the military gives out funny names. It was first time I seen dad excited for passing his exam, Naruto softly mumbled to herself. Feeling sad that her uncle and his girlfriend were the ones around for her birthday. She doesn't know where Roy had went to, maybe womanizing again. Being a 3-year-old is kind of fun than being a baby who stay in a crib feeling their disgusting turd all day till they get changed. Naruto is finally able to go to the park with Gracia, although the young redhead shivered being near any unhygienic children. Naruto sat far away from the others on a high branch from a pretty tall tree she managed to find. Until her vision spotted a golden figure with glasses exiting at a shady alley and then perform alchemy without a circle. Naruto made a clone of herself to keep Garcia busy. Obviously Naruto launched herself at the 40-year-old looking man, causing him to fall on his face and Naruto landing on his back. Will you be my alchemy teacher? Dadabeo. Naruto exclaimed. Still shaken, the man sputtered out, what? Naruto jumped off the old man, I need an alchemy and alchemy teacher. You did alchemy just standing. Please be my sensei. The man shook his head no, I can't, better find someone else. I need to travel to many places, I'm busy with my work and research to even have time to teach anybody. Okay. Then answer this, how come you look young when your spirit screams approximately more than 400 years old? Naruto activated her Rinnegan eyes. Alerted, the man frowned at the child in front of him. The child is not normal, who have red hair the color of blood. Those strange eyes are making his skin crawl. I can sense something malevolent deep within you, young one. Naruto had a split second to throw a wind-enhanced sharp hair clip at the transmuted metal pole coming towards her. She hasn't yet to see the metal behind her, it twisted fast enough to bind her in place. Damn, I can't sense alchemy like chakra that well. What are you? You can't be a homunculi, who created you? The man lazily sat down staring down at the weird child. The red reborn Kunoichi snorted, how else old man? When a mother and a father are in a heat of passion together they. Enough, sighing, the man is not very good with children to begin with, his sons are examples to his uselessness. In a blink of an eye, the strange child disappeared. Startled, he looked all over the alley and jumped when he felt a small hand tugging his shirt. Naruto snickered to herself, she burned a couple of invisible Hiraishin seals on his things and clothing. No way she'll lose the best alchemy teacher she can find. Tilting her head up and switching her eyes back to how they were originally, she asked again. So old man, why are you ancient with million of voices in you? Surprised, you can hear them. Irritated, Naruto tried to breathe calmly, except that's wasted. No dud Adebayo. It's like those annoying voices I hear and sense underground, they disrupt the flow of alchemy in this country. Sensing the child's irritation towards him. How about we do an equivalent exchange between us? I can tell you whatever you like and I get to ask something about you. Going over the pros and cons, Naruto can hold back information. You have to be my alchemy teacher and if possible you know any alchemy, I need to learn about that as well. You can travel wherever if you haven't noticed. I have a special kind of alchemy that lets me teleport to any location or person I want. Lie, she had to at least mark her target but the man doesn't need to know that. Curious, he was about to ask how she did that. The small child cut in, it runs in my family, so it's a secret. After a few more words about their deal, both of them finally agreed. Actually the man gave in to train her, she learned his name is Van Hohenheim, if she wasn't persistent in her last life, she was now. She would train and travel with him every time she have a break or she can always use a clone in her place back at home. To make sure her training won't be questioned or disturbed. Naruto waited for her good-for-nothing cocky father to come home. When Roy tiredly came back, he wondered why his daughter is still up. Daddy, can I train in alchemy? Mustang just stared at her, assessing the possibility if she can manage to learn. It's rare for females to be interested. I don't have time to train you and I can't train you in flame alchemy, was Roy's only answer to the girl. Naruto didn't let this get her down, she already anticipated his reaction. That's okay. Naruto said sweetly, I found a master good enough for my standards. But she just said she found a master. Do you even have alchemic skills? I doubt a short girl like yourself have talent. Better safe than sorry. His daughter settled a glare at him, to him it looks like she was pouting cutely. In the speed Roy had never witnessed before, he stood there eyes wide at how fast her hand is moving. To Naruto, it was completely normal speed for hand signs as a ninja. When she finished and checked her formula, Naruto slammed her hands on the circle. Roy saw she transmuted part of the floor to make a mocking figure of him in precise detail, a tick mark appear on his forehead when he saw the extra details. How dare she? He would never look like an old pervert over a harem of women. Yes he is a womanizer, but he also have control and standards. Roy gave a cough, at least you're not incompetent, still needs work. Naruto silently fumed at the man, why is she stuck with another Sasuke? Roy sighed, he should just approve with her decisions, despite the young girl being 3 years old. Have fun. Naruto let out a whoop before hugging her father's legs tightly. Cool. Thanks daddy, you're the best. Roy smiled, resisting from saying that he's always the best. Naruto ran towards her room after yawning, time for her to go to sleep. Shaking his head, Roy went to his study to swallow down his new brand of whiskey. He have more important matters to attend to. When Naruto finally became 4 years old, she already mastered a few specialized alchemy due to her shadow clones. Naruto decided to take advantage in learning for this life, unlike her previous life running around like a knucklehead. Naruto training experience was more effective than going through books this time. Naruto learned that Hohenheim is actually a philosopher's stone created the same time Xerxes got annihilated. Right now they're going all over Amistris to stop a madman or dwarf in a flask. Called father. Honestly she wants to help Hohenheim, but she is tired of saving the world and only getting more sacrifices in return. Instead, she helped Hohenheim plot against the thing, she won't be active, she will do anything if the people she cared about is harmed by that thing. He also helped create alchemy for the Shinjis, he questioned her one time about some of her dialect. He said some of the words are similar to Shinjis, while her name and other random words such as you or shit were different. Then Naruto shared about her past, being reborn and already had knowledge of the Amestrian language thanks to the gate. Hohenheim was curious if she can do alchemy without a transmutation circle if she's seen the world's gate. Naruto had a thoughtful expression, she wondered the same thing and tried it out, the results shown that she is able to do without a circle. Naruto became nervous the first time she figured out why transmutation without a circle was bad. Apparently it is a look I'm stupid enough to do human transmutation sign. Hohenheim asked what she had given up, she told him she was exempt from the punishment of losing anything belonging to her body. Her benefactor paid some price for her in order for her to use alchemy, and truth gets to troll her life randomly. Hohenheim gotten to learn more about chakra and all the things she can do. He was stunned that chakra doesn't follow the law of equivalent exchange until Naruto interject that using too much chakra can lead to death. The old man was thankful his world is not filled with primordial beasts with the ability to wipe out life. The philosopher's stones need souls, but getting killed by a giant beast is more nightmarish. Naruto was able to influence Hohenheim to prank his sons. It turns out he was a natural troublemaker in his youth. The old man even put a letter to joke with his wife Trisha about finding a wife for his son Edward that can match or surpass his attitude. Naruto even wrote a fake letter how she was happy to be engaged to Edward, making it more legit looking. What are the chances she'll meet his sons? Not like this will backfire on her. 2 weeks later, rationing back to Central, her father left her with Uncle Godfather Maze Hughes. Her uncle as usual showered her with gifts and played with her. Naruto couldn't help to pout, why couldn't her new dad be fun like him? Maybe Truth likes to make her life miserable with a forgetful father who didn't care she exists. After 8 a.m., she accidentally separated from her uncle, leaving him chatting with his girlfriend Gracia. She then collided into a scary blonde woman with full lips and eyes that stares into the soul. Damn, Naruto can't tell this lady is regal and proud, showing it if her posture doesn't scream bow down mutts. She have the same tough aura as her mother and Tsunade Bachan. Being prideful, Olivier Mira Armstrong, the firstborn of the prestigious Armstrong family, is about to send someone to the hospital. Olivier was ready to pull out her sword to slice the fool who bumped into her back, but she wasn't suspecting a little girl with unseen long red hair. What a weird coloring. She thought. Observing more with a critical gaze, the girl's eyes almost matched the Armstrong family eye color, except her eyes are a shade lighter. Are those whiskers? Can't be injuries, they appear to be birthmarks. Strange, Olivier can compare the 4-year-old appearance to a fox. Honestly, the girl is cute. It's pointless to find the girl's parents, they are the only two around here. Mustering her best intimidating face, ready to reprimand the young girl. If you don't mind. Where are your parents, brat? The Briggs General watched the little girl's eyes dim. Olivier can take this, either the girl is lost or an orphan. Best going with the former, Whiskers is too well dressed to be an orphan. As the newly christened Whiskers shifted a bit, Olivier thinks maybe her intimidation was too much for the girl. Sighing, Olivier softened her expression, still intimidating though. Well. Can you talk or not? Naruto nodded shyly, not used to strangers in this world without any of the adults she knows with her. They're not here. Daddy's never around. Olivier had to strain her ear to catch the last part. The next sound came unexpectedly, Naruto's stomach growled in hunger. The Major General eyebrow twitched, she might as well take the stray to her family's mansion nearby to get something to eat. She can't leave a child alone with lurking perverts around waiting to kidnap the young girl. Olivier wasted half an hour to get Whiskers to cooperate before she started bringing her sword out. The ruse-color kid hastily agreed to do anything Olivier asked. While enjoying their lunch, both females learn each other's names. The Briggs General, who had to go to a mandatory evaluation meeting, wasn't surprised the new flame alchemist have a daughter. She had scanned all new alchemists' profile out of boredom and assessed them to see if they can fit with her men. None of them were promising, her men are tough as they come, she doesn't need an alchemist. The flame alchemist, in her opinion, reminds her of a wannabe big shot loser. He's an amateur at best, probably have a silly goal. She have to admit, he made one tough girl. More like a spitfire when they argue, but damn it, the girl doesn't back down too easily. She was even surprised the little 4-year-old deflected her sword with a fork. A bloody fork of all things. After their little spar, they became the best of friends. Sometimes later, that's how Alex Louis Armstrong found his oldest sister, spending lots of time chatting in an eerily way about forms of torture, with a small child also giving tips. Armstrong felt curdling himself on the floor, he can't believe a young youth speaking these things so naturally. How could his sister corrupt the child? You know, instead of hiding behind a curtain. Move your large body over here. Olivier growled. Armstrong scurried over to his sister hoping she won't beat him up. Giving a military salute. Yes ma'am. Olivier just ignored Alex, rolling her eyes. Naruto. This is my oath of a brother, Alex Louis Armstrong. The strong arm alchemist. Naruto gave her version of a charming grin she inherited from the flame alchemist. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Naruto Dadabeo. Naruto blinked when the strong arm alchemist suddenly lost his shirt and started flexing his muscle. A mysterious ninjutsu appeared, Naruto tried releasing silently, surprisingly all the flowery atmosphere and sparkles are still there. He reminds her of Lee and Guy sensei. It is an honor to meet a young lively lady such as yourself. I shall give you the greetings that's passed down through the Armstrong family for generations. Naruto's morning was getting to know the Armstrong family. By afternoon, she's hoping her uncle isn't freaking out. She should have paid attention to the time, no doubt her father will be furious if Uncle Hughes called. Then again, since her father learned fire, or did he call it flame alchemy now? Her uncle might have not called in order to not be burned to a crisp. Forgetting her train of thoughts, she was brought back to this is how you manly sparkle. Coming from Alex Armstrong. Hugh the sparkling effect. She managed to ask Olivier why she didn't sparkle much like her family. The female Armstrong claimed she didn't need to in Fort Briggs, the snow does it for her. What a nice queen. Naruto eyes went wide, surprised she spotted a sparkle from Olivier. By the time she returned to Hughes, she was quickly glumped by the man, torpedoing in her direction. Naruto scratched her head, chuckling a bit at her uncle's antics. Good thing Alex Armstrong was able to keep her upright as she laughed when her uncle kept rubbing his cheeks with her. Hughes profusely thanked the alchemist so much, now Roy wouldn't have to know. The next year, Naruto stopped concerning herself over Roy. She was approaching her 5th birthday, she and Olivier planned how she'll be adopted into the Armstrong family. Most of Naruto's time were spent with her new Aunt Gracia and Uncle Hughes, along with training with her alchemy teacher, who also helped her make obstacles for her ninja training. Whenever Aunt Gracia is busy, she always dropped off to the Armstrong family. When she does spend time at the Armstrongs, she is almost never seen without Olivier whenever the female Armstrong is around. They managed to make an unbreakable bond between them. Naruto shared her secret to Olivier and used alchemy to transmute a solid silver bracelet engraved with the Hieratian. Whenever Roy is not home and she's left alone, Naruto goes to Olivier's workplace. The Ice Queen even had fun dressing her in a mini military getup similar to the blonde. The Briggs men love her, they figure she created an alchemy to travel out of thin air, a cover they both use when it was revealed her father is an alchemist. Both female agreed on a joint custody. Olivier will be her new mother and Naruto will not be taken away from Roy. There was times they had a father-daughter bonding moment. Technically she was his wingwoman and protector from clingy harlots. Not much of bonding, but Naruto still wants to stick with her only remaining blood-related parent in this world. Olivier even helped getting documents from her birthplace to legally change her name, along with the adoption papers. Roy Mustang was not aware being caught in a genjutsu Naruto casted over him. She made him think he is signing his paperwork. She snatched the papers away once Roy finished signing them. She cancelled out her weak genjutsu and Hieratian over to Olivier. An Ishbalan descent named Miles and a Brig soldier handled the delivery to her birthplace, a town near the border of Creta. A few business days later, Naruto is now known as Naruto Namikaze Armstrong Mustang. She figures since she never been called a Namikaze before, why not use the name as her middle name? Everyone will think it's a strange name anyway, even Sheen won't know the meaning as Hohenheim informed her. Naruto was busy whooping with the Bijuas shaking their heads at her excitement for having an awesome scary mother. She didn't notice Mustang standing at her doorway. In 1908, all state alchemists had been called out to join the war in Ishval. Roy Mustang was surprised how Naruto clung to him and bawled her eyes out. She even threatened him with a knife trick he is pretty sure Maze taught her. Roy was going to have a talk with that man later. Mustang wasn't sure what to feel for his daughter demanding him to not die in the war. No, he wasn't sure because all the mixed signal Naruto is sending to the man is all confusing. Inside Naruto's mind, she's going to resurrect him and then obliterate him until she's satisfied. Naruto was itching to sneak into the war, but she have a feeling to let humanity take their course. She plans to not have any government attention on her, she will only take action if the corrupt government decided to execute Roy, Uncle Hughes, and Uncle Alex. A year when the war finally ended, Naruto was relieved her dad didn't gotten any fatal injury. She could tell her father wasn't the same, she had to witness Roy's constant thrashing in his bedroom, he wakes her up in the night. Naruto curse her hyper-awareness, but she always end up sleeping curl up against her father to stop his thrashing. At nighttime it's okay to be near him, mornings he's gone, in public with her aunts or uncles. He's extremely distant and treat her as a normal child he sees that hang with his friend. Her dad was promoted as a lieutenant colonel, maybe Naruto believed he did not have time for her, she understood his ambition to become fur. Naruto worked herself harder to be close to her abilities, despite her body being a decade younger than she originally was. She won't let herself be a burden to her father, her teacher was surprised when she came with her things. Hohenheim is a fast learner to know she left a durable clone. When it comes to Fuinjutsu, although he can't use chakra, her teacher's endless knowledge helps speed up the process. His theory of what-ifs proves to be recklessly fun. Naruto planned to use chakra with alchemy and alchemy together to create her own specialized alchemy skill. Scariest thing happened to Naruto, all the adults in her life, including her father, made her learn how to cook. Apparently it's common for young girls to learn to become housewives. Her mother admitted she and all her siblings had to learn something about it being in the Armstrong generations to never always rely on their servants or beware of poison. Naruto hadn't really been focusing on the Armstrong's history. Her teacher was the only one not stopping anything for cooking skills. For that, Naruto decided to use the chakra transfer jutsu to allow him to use chakra. Hohenheim is a genius, just a few experiments and lessons. The old man decided to only use Fuinjutsu, Jinjutsu, and medical ninjutsu. He knows he's not a fighter, well it was about time to give the man a gift for putting up with all her snappish attitude. Later on, Naruto has to move to East City with her father. Naruto put up quite a fight, that is till her father bribed her with endless amount of ingredients to make ramen. General her father is placed under is some guy named Grumman. Being alone in a new city was not good for her health, luckily she burned invisible Horatian seals to places. She would've gone nuts, whoever heard of an Uzumaki standing still. Namekis aren't lazy either, they have the urge to keep training or gather knowledge. What does she do in a trap environment without thinking of teleporting to places? She summon a toad. She forgotten they exist in another dimension or shit. She forgotten about Tsunade. In a blood seal scroll designated for her grandmother, she wrote everything, explaining how she's alive again, and then gave the messenger toad the scroll. Her whole week living in East City was spent messaging Tsunade after getting a berating lecture how she took long. Naruto face planted to the ground when she read Kakashi as the current Hokage. Ramit Tsunade sent her a few storage scrolls with all her belongings and inheritance she was supposed to receive. Naruto sighed, at least she didn't had to mysteriously sneak into Shin just for probably a lousy kunai, and she did try to transmute, but she's not a weapon expert. Suddenly Kitsaya, Pa, miniature size Gamakichi and Gamatatsu popped up. The slugs had discussed about her being their summoner to the toads. When the summoning scroll appeared, Naruto was shocked that Sakura name been crossed out. During 1910, Mustang left Naruto at the Armstrong estate before he was about to board a train to East City again, where he'll meet up with Riza Hawkeye. Naruto heard he's going to reassemble for official business. She knows it's part of his job to find other talented alchemist. Naruto feels her face heating up, what the hell is he staring at me for? Kurama peeking, awaking from his slumber. I think the worthless human wants you to tell him goodbye etc. No way, he's just jealous mom have most of my love than him. Naruto lifted an eyebrow at Mustang. Roy nervously picked up his only child and hugged her. This was going to be his first time spending how many days searching for some gifted alchemists by following some rumor. He just hoped Bradley didn't know about Naruto, he tries his best to keep her hidden. This will be the only time both Armstrongs, him and Hughes are not in the same city with Naruto. He already felt guilty ignoring her. He was about to let go, but Naruto hugged him back. Have a safe trip. Naruto whispered. Mustang's heart lightened up when he barely caught her words. Petting her head, he whispered. Be a good girl. Roy holding a laugh when she punched his arm. Naruto had 3 days of learning swordsmanship and military tactics from her grandfather, and Catherine showed her how to play piano too. Catherine was excited how she got everything perfect on her first try. Naruto's sweat dropped. Ninjas are supposed to have outstanding memories when they are debriefing a mission in front of the Hokage. The strangest thing Naruto witnessed from Roy once he returned, he set the books explaining about human transmutation on fire. She hears him muttering angrily about 2 idiot boys who attempted human transmutation. Naruto couldn't help to agree, it was forbidden for a reason. She yelped when her father picked her up, I love daughters. They're always daddy's girl who listen to everything daddy says. Right Hughes who is smiling gave a huge thumbs up, right Mustang. I know Papa's little princess won't be stupid enough to do any taboos. Girls have more common sense than reckless annoying boys. Naruto feels awkward, she was a reckless boy who stole the forbidden scroll in her previous life. Why does Naruto feel like her father is holding and praising her just like a puppy? In February 1911, her surrogate cousin Alicia Hughes is born. Roy, Naruto, Olivier, and Alex all celebrated at Alicia's welcome home party. Although Naruto have to be in between both her parents, their rivalry against each other sometimes get out of hand. Alex Armstrong paled when Hughes joked that they need to do it. The general and newly promoted colonel glared at Hughes for suggesting such things. Naruto thought they would have done worse if they aren't in hers or the baby's presence. In the end of the day, Hughes made everyone take an appropriate family photo. The previous tries were wasted with the strong-arm alchemist posing, Olivier about to kill either Mustang or her brother in each picture, Mustang about to use flame alchemy on Hughes or Olivier, and Naruto's parents repositioning her. Gracia snapped at all of them, she gotten out of labor and doesn't want to deal with a crying baby later. Gracia was able to threaten all of them except Olivier if the baby cry, she'll make them pay. Armstrong kept his shirt, Olivier and Mustang sit close together, their thighs are touching with Naruto sitting on top of their thighs. Naruto's still 8 years old, in the beginning of October, she was with her mother when they heard the youngest state alchemist is 12 years old and a genius for his age. It'd have got to be those boys her father always mentioned. Imagine her surprise, Olivier decided to have Naruto placed under her in the military. Naruto hesitated at first, but she does want to see how Roy will react if she became an accomplished state alchemist. Naruto frowned when she remembered Roy being more caring towards 2 boys by pulling strings for them to be in the military. When she asked if she could become a state alchemist, he denied her and said she wasn't suited for the military. True, she wasn't suited for the military. She was suited to be a leader, she won and led the 4th Shinobi War. Kakashi and Tsunade said she would have been the next Hokage if only she didn't let herself die. Still it's promising, but she has no interest in running this country. It's Mustang's goal to become Fur, Naruto's goal was to become Hokage for Konoha. She could just try to be some type of general, Naruto's not that interested to be in the military. She'll just help her father reach his goal and then probably settle down with someone. Naruto has always wanted children. Sharing an evil gleam with her mother, she'll become the new youngest state alchemist. Hohenheim does need a spy to monitor all the homunculi, Naruto's sensory skills have improved. The 40-year-old man stares down at the crackling flames. You really sure about this? He questioned, letting his voice drift in the open air. His young red-haired companion stayed silent. Hohenheim sighed, a bit risky if you happen to get caught wandering in their underground tunnels. It is a risk, her soft voice trailed, but we need someone from the inside. I can't always stay far at a distance from them. Hohenheim met Naruto's unrelenting gaze, the girl's tone lowered, Amstress is far from saving for my taste. In my experience this country has a surplus of crazy greedy power-hungry warmongers that it sickens me. Naruto cringe, plenty of Danzos in the military, each faction probably can't wait till the Fur is wiped out. Don't let her get started on the alchemists. She doesn't share the idea of inhumane experiments as something to be joyful about. Then there's how normal civilians attack other civilians in some parts of Amstress. Naruto frowned, as far as I know this is just another life I'm living. I don't have to help you, I could just move to another country dragging everyone I care about with me, whether I'm putting them on a genjutsu or not. Her eyes hardened betraying nothing, she had grown cold through the years. I'm helping you because you're my friend and mentor. I'm not doing this for a mistress, I'm only lending my services to help secure your son's safety for a better future. I've done enough in one lifetime, my allegiance will always be Konoha. You either accept my offer or you don't. The ancient alchemist lowered his head, placing both his hands on his forehead. Neru's right, she can always leave, and it's not a problem with the dwarf. She's stubbornly willing to join the military in order for him to get information. Well, he can't deny her, she will never listen to his reasoning. I'll accept. The duo watched the flames in peace under the starry night sky. Once the embers cracked its last spark, the little girl left the man alone, leaving no signs that she was even there. The moment Major General Armstrong brought a strange 9-year-old to take the state alchemist exam, everyone thought the older woman was joking. Except she doesn't joke at all. She must have finally lost it with her rivalry against Colonel Mustang. Sure, the Fullmetal Alchemist passed and became the youngest in history at a mere age of 12, but what made the Briggs General certain a child 3 years younger than that can top a prodigy with the ability to not use a transmutation circle? And a girl too. It's completely rare and unheard of, but the onslaught of examinees became curious what a girl with blood-red hair can manage to pull off. Olivier Armstrong is known to not have any alchemist in her brigade. Everyone knows her opinions on alchemists. The blonde in question scanned the room for any competition. She doesn't do alchemy, but it doesn't mean she's insipid to not learn basic theories. Armstrongs are known to go up against any alchemist for generations, she doesn't need alchemy to defeat them. The previous Armstrongs found ways and perfected many techniques. HMPH. What fools, they may as well pack up and leave. Olivier's eyes twitched, she spotted a wimpy man with glasses circling around his mysterious project that doesn't feel right. A few meters from them, there's a chimera who keeps repeating "Kill Minoru, I'll have to go up on the balcony, oh, and there's a talking suicidal chimera you have to beat." Indicating the tilt of her head in the chimera's direction. Although there's something wrong about that man, stay far away from him. That's an order. Yes, sir. Naru narrowed her eyes. The chimera soul is wait no, souls are crying out in anguish. The alchemy she sensed that created the chimera is dark, like the ingredients had a human. Can we have the next participant? Naruko Uzumaki. Burr Bradley watched the young girl his general claimed to be a descent from a country on the other side of Shing. His eyes slid over to Olivier Armstrong, what was that woman planning? His attention shifted back to the young girl from North City as she drew a complex circle in a speed previous alchemist during wartime wished to have had. As she slammed her hand to the circle, a blinding white light made everyone to cover their eyes. Bradley kept his eyes trained on the multiple transmutation circles spreading around the room in an accelerating rate. Covering only the ceilings and the walls. He can't help noticing strange symbols and writing on each circle. Naruko grinned as the darkness spread on both floor levels. Can I have a volunteer to try moving? She chirped mischievously. One of the examiners tried to move, panicked he yelled. What's going on? Help, I can't move either. Soon a pandemonium of people demanded to be released. The furrer tried to move his limbs, his one eye widened as he a homunculus cannot get out of the trap. Now it's time to seal the deal. She will have to cheat. Using her enhanced speed to cheat a bit, but who cares? May I have everyone attention please? With that Naruko just ran in a light pace, to an outsider's view you can barely see her. Naruko stopped and pointed to her circles, the white light from earlier thinned like a needle. Yet those who were more observant can see each thin light trajectory is towards them, and the heat they felt giving off is dangerous. Naruto produce a strong piece of titanium metal, she chuck it towards a least populated corner of the room. The next second, 3 of the circle shot beams. Disintegrating the metal to where nothing is left to spare. Naruto look on the gawking faces. Well, if this doesn't get her in the military, then she will just go to the academy and train as a soldier. That'll take years. She quickly cancelled her transmutation circles in a cheerful flowery facade. This is my bombardment alchemy made from gathering light. Anything that move and is not the alchemist will get blasted with intense heat. I think. Shrugging, those who are stuck and deem as an enemy will have pretty zappy light on them, I think they're called lightning. At a giggle, she hoped her act is believable. All my transmutations reaction rate are faster than normal. What a talented young lady. A chuckle broke in. Naruto blinked recognizing the fur, curtsying. It's an honor to have you, sir. Wow. She didn't thought the fur will be a homunculus. She needs to put more effort to convince these people how naive she can be. Maybe pulling off a Hinata. Then again, Sakura always said she's horrible and can't do anything right. Remembering her ex-potential girlfriend from her last life, Hinata would most likely encourage her to be herself. Well, she can be the knuckle-headed ninja again. She wonder if Hinata became clan head, she'll have to send her a message later. The furrer smiled, laying on his charming fatherly look on the girl. Well, I am happy to say you'll be a state alchemist under Major General Armstrong as she requested. Irritatingly, the furrer kept himself from shushing the girl's squeal of excitement. Clearing his throat to the audience, I would like to declare that we'll be having 2 new state alchemists. Shu Tucker the Sewing Life Alchemist and Naruko Uzumaki the Shadow Bomb Alchemy. Ah. Come on, old man. Can't you think of a better name for me? Interrupted a redhead. Olivier's hand twitched to her sword, she will be disciplining the young girl later. Who knows what the fur will do to her. Annoyed, Bradley still kept smiling. My, if that's what you wish. How about Crimson Light? Nuh-uh. Void? Nope. Higher Shadow? There's still no. Illuminating Darkness? That sucks. Blasting Princess? Please no. Night Fury? No. Bombarda? Nuo? Bloody Demon? Are you even trying? There's no way he can satisfy the young girl. Choosing the girl's coloring and speed this time. How about the Red Flash Alchemist? Bradley begged to father that she'll take it before he lose his patience. Beaming and putting the man out of his misery. I'll take it, your eminence. The next few days Naruto waited in Olivier's office. Okay, here's your pocket watch and certified document. You can read it yourself. Naruto caught the floating piece of paper, reading. This official document certifies that the nation of Amistris, prefecture of the Generalissimo, appoints the name the Red Flash Alchemist to Naruko Uzumaki in the name of Fur King Bradley. A state alchemist shall. Naruko stopped reading, already been informed of her rank and resources. She was just making sure she didn't obtain a different name. She just became the youngest alchemist in military history and a female, which is rare. Although she's not referred to have the same prodigious level as the Fullmetal. After sensing the fur being a homunculus, she kept her ability to not use a circle, a secret feral smile etched on her face. Mother, shall we proceed? Olivier copy Naruko. Oh, they have plans to make. Amistris. Central in 1914. The freezing alchemist. Really? He's here? Mustang asked. Bradley smiled, confirming the information they obtain. We have information that he managed to slip into Central a few days ago. That's why I've summoned you here, Colonel. I need you and your men to smoke him out and bring him in. Mustang narrowed his eyes. Consider it done, sir. I'm glad you're with us in Central for a while, Mustang. It's good to know I have people here I can count on. The fur chuckled. Ah, one last thing. Our rising young stars is here as well. I'm placing one at your disposal. The confused look dawned on Mustang's face. It could be either Fullmetal or his forgive me, Fur Bradley, but just to be clear, are you referring to? I am. Bradley gave a slight glare. How dare his soldier question him? The Fullmetal alchemist, Edward Elric. Whistles rang in the alley, a raven hair man with a cape finished boiling some policemen. Once the last body fell, the freezing alchemist peered down at the dead body with no remorse. Water freezes, water boils, either way, you're just as dead. In his line of sight a spear came flying, he moved away in time and stared at the weapon. That's alchemy. What a nasty thing to do. A voice called. Isaac smirked in mirth. You of all people should know great deeds require great sacrifice. Isn't that the law of equivalent exchange? The freezing alchemist's smile twisted. The boy with long braided hair wearing a red coat stepped out of the shadow. Save your breath. Glaring at the older man, he yelled. The laws of alchemy don't justify murder. Naruko watched, hidden from plain sight on the rooftop. She saw the other alchemist as he clapped both his hands together, transmuting his spear into some type of spiked club. Why does he have his face on it? Is he that pissy have to make an iconic version of himself on his transmutation? Naruto watched as the older boy charge. Exactly as she calculated, the other hidden brother tries to attack Isaac, the man have good instincts to dodge and block an attack from both brothers. So the taller boy must be the Fullmetal Alchemist, Naruto mused. The freezing alchemist kicked the metal armor back. Naruto caught the sound. The armor is hollowed. If she wasn't a ninja her previous life she could have missed it. This is serious offense, Mustang must have known and never reported it. Snapping herself to pay attention to the fight, she can't start pondering her father's intention. She's more curious watching for any weaknesses though. After all, she's been ordered to not engage in combat yet. The older alchemist caught the boy's arm and transmuted. He gasped, "What? The boy's arm is still intact. No, I had you. Any water in there should have boiled. If it's any consolation, you did ruin my coat." The blonde spoke, showing off his ruined coated arm. Perplexed, the freezing alchemist said. An automail arm. He stared at the puny shrimp before him. A young gifted alchemist. One who doesn't use transmutation circles and who has an automail right arm. Blaring, "I know you. You're the Fullmetal Alchemist, Edward Elric, so it's not you." Isaac pointed at the metal armor. Alphonse shook his armored head. "Oh, no. I'm his younger brother Alphonse." Disappointed, Isaac said. "But he's a runt." "Ooh, no kidding." Naruto inwardly berated herself, she shouldn't have made an assumption. The tick mark formed on Edward's head. "Oh yeah? Can a runt do this?" he yelled, performing transmutation again, encasing Isaac. Squishing him in between the alley, making it even tighter for him to have a hard time trying to talk. "I've heard the stories, but still I never imagined this. The Fullmetal Alchemist is just a little kid." Isaac spoke bewilderingly. Seething, Edward yelled. "Don't call me little." Edward attacked him with a transmuted hand. Alphonse awkwardly stood next to his brother, blinking. In a corner of her mind, Truth calmly input, "Team Rocket is blasting off again." Naruto tried to contain her laughter. The thing made her watch so much Pokemon. Truth cursed her TV 2 years ago, every channel whenever she tries to watch is full of Pokemon. It took her long to realize the show doesn't exist in this universe. Sighing, she might as well chase after the flying alchemist. Naruto ignored the two older boys and followed discreetly on the rooftops. Did they really believe he can just be handcuffed? She sweat dropped just like how she predicted. McDougal transmuted the surrounding puddles into steam. "What is that, steam?" Edward questioned. "Brother, he's gone." Alphonse spoke. "Let the cat and mouse game begin." She disappeared into the night. "Damn it. Now he really pissed me off." Edward yelled. One of Central Command offices. "Looks like you underestimated your opponent, Fullmetal." Annoyed, Edward asked. "Who is this guy anyway?" "You'd know that if you'd listened to the briefing like I told you to." Edward tense, knowing the bastard is right. "But no, you had to go charging right after." "Shamefaced, yeah, I get it, alright. I'm sorry, okay. Whatever." Mustang roguishly smirks at his subordinate. "Next time a superior tells you to pay attention, you might just try it." Edward miffed. Fine. Ed wants to wipe that smirk out of Mustang's face. "Now then," Mustang starts. His name is Isaac McDougal. Or as he was known as back in the day, Isaac the Freezer. He's a former state alchemist. "Former?" Mustang nodded. Looking out window, he reminisced those who have been in the war. "That's right. He served in the Ishvalan War. During that time, he gave us no signs that he'd turned traitor. But after, he immediately resigned his commission and went into hiding. He's been working with the anti-establishment movement ever since." He glanced at Fullmetal. In a serious voice, he reprimands his youngest subordinate. "Taking him into custody is a matter of top priority, whether it's dead or alive. That's up to him." "No way. I'm not killing anyone for you." Edward denied. "And that's your choice." Mustang said. His gaze softened, honestly glad Fullmetal won't kill. He doesn't want the teen to have nightmares like him. "Your orders are simply to help us contain him. That's all. We have the youngest state alchemist following his movements and relaying information. There will be hell to pay if he finds his daughter injured." A wry smile crosses his face, "He'll ground her later." HMPH. Off topic, he smirked. He finds it hilarious how Edward gets riled up easily. "Have you turned up any leads for getting your bodies back to normal?" Edward gives Mustang a petulant look. "Maybe if you ever gave us time to look." The door abruptly swung open, revealing a man with glasses and a young girl with her red hair and 2 high pigtails. "Roy. How goes?" The man saluted. "Heard you let him put you in charge of catching the freezer, huh?" Oh no, Hughes came to visit, he thought dreadfully. One hell of a nasty assignment. But hey. Could be your chance to earn that promotion to Central. Mustang silently wonder if he can commit murder on his friend, but he was pleasantly surprised to see Naruto. "Oh see. Looks like my timing was perfect." Hughes shifted his attention to the Elric brothers. Naruto pities them. You two are the Elric brothers, right? Elrics. That name is still giving her a migraine. Where had she heard of it? Certainly not the rumors because state alchemist names are kept secret, but then again Fullmetal didn't kept silent during his initial active years. Wow. It's an honor to finally meet the second youngest state alchemist ever. You're a real legend around here. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Mays Hughes. A pleasure. Hughes energetically shook Al's arms. Alphonse sweat dropped nervously feeling Ed's mood. Whom you want Edward? I'm actually his younger brother Alphonse. Slack-jawed, Hughes switched to the short blonde what? You're the Fullmetal alchemist. Sorry. I had no idea you'd be so. Edward's aura darkened, glowering at the bespectacled man. He angrily thought, go on. Say little I dare you. Hughes Mustang cut in. Hughes look at Mustang. Yeah. What are you and Uzumaki doing here? Go home. Mustang ordered. Actually, we're both here on official business. Hughes smiled, catching Mustang off guard. Shifting back to the Elrics. You, Elrics. I understand that you two don't have a place to stay. Which means that you'll have to come with me. His glasses flashed, rapidly he pulled a photo out. Shocking both brothers in a moment. Hughes gleefully showed them a picture of his wife and daughter. Hughes smiled. My wife Gracia and my daughter Alicia. We'd love to have you. Hughes home. Hi, princess. Hughes hugs his daughter. Alicia laughed as her dad rubs his cheek against hers. Oh, daddy, your beard is itchy. Hughes smiles. Like this. Itchy. Itchy. He increases effort, causing his daughter to giggle more. Look. We have guests. These are the Elric brothers. Hughes introduced the two boys. Alicia points to Alphonse. Big brother. Then points at Edward. Little brother. Causing him to glower. Edward twitched in anger. I'll not harm her. I'll not attack a kid, she's little and doesn't mean it. He struggles to get himself back together. Nice to meet you. My name is Edward Elric. This is my younger brother, Alphonse Elric. Get that? Younger brother. But younger means little. You're little. Alicia argued, her big sister Naru is always right. Edward released steam from his nose. Al carried him by the scruff of his coat before he does any damage. What? Where do you get off calling me little? You look it up, Ed yelled at the little girl. Let it go, Ed. These people are really nice to let us stay here. Alphonse tries to calm his older brother. After dinner, Ed and Al were staring at the display of photos. In almost every single one of them appears a young girl sporting impossible red color hair with a blonde streak. They never seen someone with that coloring. There's even pictures of her before Hughes married Gracia. In a large photo containing a background of a banner written Welcome Home Alicia, the girl was sitting between Mustang and a stoic lady. Ed thought it was hilarious, Mustang resembled a child struggling to smile. His superior must have felt awkward. Ah. I see you enjoy my family photos. Hughes joyfully brought out more photos and shoved one containing Alicia having a piggyback ride with a redhead. Hughes, who's that girl? She's in almost all your photos. Al asked. Hughes laughed. Oh, that's my niece, Naruko Uzumaki. Didn't you seen her at Central? Both brothers recall seeing something red behind Hughes. Then why isn't she here? Are you even allowed to bring a kid in the military? Edward said. Hughes rubbed his head nope. Smiling. She lives alone at an apartment. Nah, she lives with Roy. She uses her freaky teleport ability to go to East City. He thought. Sometimes she does come over to stay here. Her bedroom is right next to the guest room. The Elrics were about to check if it's true. They stop moving feeling a shiver up their spine and turn around to see a scary Maze Hughes. He pulls out a gun, clicking it back. I hope you weren't going to enter a girl's bedroom. Nervously the brothers chuckled. Of course not. Wouldn't dream of it. Alphonse shaked. Well good. I was afraid I was going to rehabilitate you two to not mess with any of my girls. Hughes grins. Yay, night. We're going to bed. Come Al. Central prison. Ahaha hands down. That's got to be the funniest joke I've heard in a long time. The freezing alchemist wants me to come play his sidekick. Well, as fun as that sounds. The Crimson Alchemist works Al and I always have. Said the voice behind a containment cell. Isaac frowned. Kimberly, if we work together, we can bring down Bradley and his god-forsaken military. You saw the horrors that took place in Ishbal. You were there, damn it. You know the things Bradley ordered us to do. The kind of man he really is. That's why you killed all those officers, isn't it? To send him a message? Kimberly laughed. I think you've got me all wrong. My motives aren't so sophisticated as revenge or honor or any of that. The reason I killed all of those men was because I could. It's that simple. Isaac grinned as he walks away. That's too bad, Kimberly, that truly is too bad. Keep up the good work. Isaac pushed a frozen soldier. Once he's not in the room anymore, the frozen soldier disappear in a puff of smoke. The next day. A soldier yelled. Get a medic. Hurry. Another soldier announced. Report to headquarters. 5 men dead. How awful. Alphonse watched the body still steaming. It looks like a steam explosion. Ed analyzed. Raise the temperature of water fast enough to expand with the force of bomb blast. And the human body is 70% water. Let's hurry. We have to find him before he hurts anyone else. Alphonse hummed in agreement. Hello, why are you wearing a suit of armor? Al jumped, he didn't notice the other boy near him. No reason. I wore a suit of armor all my life. He lied nervously to the little kid. The blonde spike hair boy wearing a head protector snorted. Like I'll believe that, mister. Pausing, ruffling his hair, the blonde looked strained. Nice chatting with you, but your brother is leaving you behind. The blonde sensed a shift in the air. Mister, I suggest following the sounds of a bomb in that direction. Al glanced over to see where the boy is pointing, nothing in particular happened. The younger Elric was about to question what the boy meant, but he was gone. Startled, he looked everywhere, but the boy must have left. Al paced himself back to his unaware brother. Maybe he should forget that rare occurrence. A huge explosion was heard, shocking everyone as they see Armstrong, many rotating transmuted heads flying. The brothers hurried to the explosion. Damn it. It got to be the bastard. Ed gritted his teeth. Come on, Al. Al followed silently. Once they arrived, Isaac threw a canteen full of water and transmuted to react as a steam bomb. Al quickly grabs Ed and shielded him from the blast. An alchemic rune under Armstrong swirled, protecting him from the explosion. Let's go. He is getting away. Al said. Armstrong ran up to them. Come then. After me, Elric brothers. Approaching nightfall, we find the freezing alchemist on the rooftops of one of the apartment buildings surrounding central headquarters. It's been a long time, Freezer. Isaac calmly glanced the corner of his eye, seeing he's surrounded. Well, Roy Mustang. He grunted, containing his chuckles. So the flame alchemist came out to play. Mustang glares at the former alchemist. You can make this easy on both of us. I'd rather not fight with an old war buddy. Isaac ignored Mustang comment. War buddy? Please, don't flatter yourself. I knew no friends in Ishval. Only military bastards and their damn dogs. Mustang took that as hostile approach. He quickly snapped his ignition gloves, sending flames hurtling at Isaac. The freezing alchemist hurriedly transmuted a wall of water from the apartment's pipelines. To make sure Mustang doesn't have his ability to produce flames, he transmuted again and drenched the flame alchemist. When the water meets flame, the flame goes out. Isaac chuckles as he ran away on his ice bridge. Naruto came out with a transmuted orange umbrella, perfectly dry. She dully blinks at her wet father, who didn't want her help. Did you pack extra ignition gloves, Colonel? Roy steamed. Lieutenant Colonel Uzumaki, I do not need your sass right now. Me. Never. Don't take too long to dry. The fur finally allow me to subdue the target. I'm here to inform you to destroy one of the circles. She beamed at her frustrated father. Excuse me, I'll take my leave, Colonel. She vanished in a blink of an eye. Roy had caught a glimpse of her necklace, now he knew where she kept her circle at. Isaac drops down and cursed while shoving the rubbles away. Still there. Perfect. Stop right there. Ed demanded, standing at the open side of the alley. I was wondering what you were doing this alley, so I came back to check it out, and bingo. There's no way to run this time. Alphonse blocked the other end of the alley. Isaac chuckles evilly. He can see that he's blocked, there's no point to run anyway. Clearly, but who's running? He activated his circle. Circles around the city began to glow and release red lights. Ed's eyes widen. An alchemic reaction in this scale. Alphonse, not believing Isaac has the ability to create a large scale, can only conclude. Impossible unless you don't think he is. A philosopher's stone. Ed tried to contain his grin. He finally found at least one proof a stone could probably exist. Gasping, Edward stares down parts of the alley, freezing. He's freezing all the moisture in the air. Edward Elric. Isaac draws the young alchemist attention. You've sworn your life to the state as a dog of the military. But do you really know the ones you serve? Or what their true plans are? He asked. Edward snorted. Who cares? It's not my problem. Isaac pissed at the naive boy. Don't be a fool. He'll lead us all to ruin. I'm only doing what needs to be done. Edward honestly doesn't care what the military is planning, he only cares about getting the Philosopher's Stone. I told you. I don't care. Alphonse flipped over the other side and attacks Isaac, kicking him past Ed to crash on the street. Alright. Nice work, Al. Ed praised his brother. Alphonse shook his head. But we still have to stop his alchemy. I know. He told to Al. He scowled at the defeated man. So where is it? You have a Philosopher's Stone, don't you? Isaac grins. What are you talking about? Ed countered, he always hates when people goes the hard way. I won't ask again. Where is it? And what are you going to do, boy? You're out of your league. Ed frowned at Isaac's cheeky response. They gaze in horror when a gigantic iceberg comes out. Isaac took the chance to escape. Naruko sighs and follows the convict, she knows the rest are going to be okay. At a distance she saw her uncle stop the glacier, but its direction change in her vantage view to the right. Silently walking vertically up, the Führer finally granted her to act. Naruko won't waste that chance, the convict is putting everyone in Central in danger. She prepares to kill Isaac with a water dragon technique. Too bad Isaac will ironically drown to death. King Bradley. For your cold-blooded crimes in Ishval, I condemn you to a frozen hell. Why do all the evil villains make monologues? Naruko will never know. Do these people have some type of sick fantasy over hearing their voices? Naruko deadpanned in disbelief. Not so fast. A voice shouted from the opposite side. Naruko stopped in mid-sign, what the hell is going on? She caught sight on the armor Elric using the ground to shoot him up. Naruko seethed, weren't they supposed to be with Armstrong? She have to plan some other way to not endanger the two boys. Naruko felt two clashing alchemical reactions, she jumped to the closest building missing broken chunks of ice. No time to waste, the Elrics are going to be in danger. Fixing her hoodie, she took a leaf out of Lee's book. Isaac was about to transmute part of his ice when, dynamic entry. He got kicked from the back of his head and flew at a distance close to the Elric brothers. Where on earth did she came from? Ed yelled. Ed stares at the girl clad in blue and orange hooded jacket, wearing a white skirt with black leggings and strange open-toe black boots. She just appeared out of nowhere. Isaac took advantage of their distraction and gotten up quick. Too slow. Alphonse. Ed cried out in alarm. Naruko caught up and intercepted Isaac before he had a chance to attack the younger Elric. Futen. K's no Yeba focusing a blade on the tip of her fingertips. She slashed Isaac's arm, leaving his right arm mutilated. Blood spray from the wound Naruko inflicted. His arm flew, knocking off Al's helmet, grasping his arm in pain, he froze, his blood numbing his arm. Gah. You bitch. I'll get you for this. He transmuted more ice spikes, Naruko easily dodged away. When he glanced at Alphonse, he can't believe it. There's no one in there. It's empty. Shocked, his eyes narrowed. But that could only be true if his soul was bonded to the armor. So you lost your arm, and your brother lost his entire body. He let out a sardonic laugh. Huh. I see. It all makes sense. You fools committed the ultimate taboo. Ed eyebrow twitch. You attempted human transmutation, didn't you? Alchemy's one and only unforgivable sin. Naruko already figured that was the case. The rumors on the Fullmetal Alchemist is that he had an automale right arm and left leg. She would have believed that he lost his limbs in a tragic accident if it weren't for the fact the younger Elric was hollowed. 1 second she was staring at the deranged man, the next her vision blurred. What happened? Her vision disappeared, she blinked twice. She's in an unknown room with a transmutation circle glowing. I'll. Naruko gyrated on her heel to see a younger version of the older Elric. Damn it. This can't be happening. No. He's gone. What have I done? Her heart skipped a beat in fear, there's a pile of empty clothes. She clutched onto her head, everything is spacing out. A warm liquid drizzled down on her arms. Disgruntled, what is this? A horror fest. Naruko rolled her eyes, this have that thing written all over it. Her gaze focused on the boy crawling to a fallen suit of armor. Give him back as my brother. The younger Ed drew a blood rune on the armor. Just give him back. He's my little brother. He is all I have left. He clapped his hands together, Naruko saw Truth taking his arm. She saw the whole process now. Giving a wry smile, there has to be a catch. Hey Truth, is there a reason why I saw all that? The white thing grinned, oh no reason actually. In exchange for that vision. You can't leave Amistris. He chuckled evilly, bye now. Come on. We're going after him. Edward yanked the frozen blood cycle off him. I'm not done. Not even close. Naruko blinked, what happened? Did she miss anything? It must be one of those watch from the sidelines moment Truth forces her in. After all, she wasn't supposed to be reborn into this world. Remembering all the friends she made, no time to brood, she already mourned her initial 6 years in this new life. Feeling the marker she placed on McDougal. In a second she tackled and bounded the alchemist. You are under arrest in the name of the Führer. She declared. Why you twerp? He yelled in rage. He tries to knock her off of him. Naruko kept him still, if he keeps being this difficult, she have no choice but to end his life. Her sensory alerted her Bradley is coming. Decreasing her strength, she let Isaac buck her off to a nearby wall. Mewling in pain, Naruko glimpsed Isaac running with a spear created from his own blood. He's about to impale Führer Bradley. She drew in a simple earth alchemic circle and transmuted the grounds into chains, restraining Isaac in the last second. Slumping down, her trained eye followed Bradley's sword slicing McDougal. She felt the incomplete philosopher's stone vanish. "King Bradley, sir." She saluted. "Ah, Red Flash, I see you done a good job weakening him." The fur smiled. Having a perfect view, she felt both Mustang and Armstrong intense signature dissolved. Naruto released a languid sigh, they managed to destroy one of the circles. She heard incoming footsteps, getting up shakily, to not draw suspicion. She greeted the soldiers who are filling in. Naruto sensed the two boys running into their direction, she bit the inside of her cheek. Ed and Al stopped, catching their breath when they saw the fur. "Fur Bradley. You're here?" Bradley gave his best calm smile. "Ah, yes. Job well done, Fullmetal. I came out to see if I could lend a hand." He chuckled. "And to think that I'd actually be the one to catch him with the Red Flash Alchemist. If nothing else, this should make an exciting story for my son." The Red Flash Alchemist. Both brothers whispered, "The guy was here." "Achoo. Voice that a cold I hear." "Ah, never mind." Hughes ran to Mustang. Chatting happily. "From what I've told, you are the man of the hour. We have just destroyed the transmutation circles. The fur and Uzumaki is the one who brought down McDougal." Mustang demurred. Hughes interjected. "Sure, but the fur is telling everyone it was you and Red Flash. So congratulations." Mustang frowned, couldn't Maze shut up? Maze pouted and went into lecture mode. "Though it's like that, huh? Suit yourself. But some friendly advice. Next time a superior tells you to take credit for something you didn't do." Roy released a scowl. "You might try it for once." Mustang slammed his head on the desk tiredly. Wearily lifting his head, "Rizza, leave. We're going to talk in private." Mustang commanded. Rizza was reluctant to leave. Why couldn't he tell it in her presence? Doesn't he trust her? Her posture stiffened. "As you wish, Colonel." Once she closed the door, Mustang began whispering. "He knows people outside, especially Rizza, can hear them. The rumor mill here is worse than old women's gossips. Where's Naruto? God, I still can't get over it, it's not creative enough for a fake name. Is she still mad I don't like her involvement in the military?" Maze wince, "She might spread the news to Olivier on how useless you were getting wet." He said uncertainly. "So yeah, I think she used her freakiness to go back to Fort Briggs. Actually, I'm right here." Both men jumped, feeling their skin almost leaving them. Roy whirled around on his chair. They're leaning on the wall behind him as his estranged daughter snickering. "Naruto. How did you get in here?" She pointed at his opened window. Gaping, "He won't admit it, but she'll be the death of him." He grabs the bridge of his nose. "How on earth did you climb to the third floor?" Meekly scratching the back of her head, I'm not sure how, but I use alchemy to make the bottom of my shoes sticky." Roy knew he's going to have a migraine if he tries imagining how she pulled that off. His daughter is such an enigma, she defies normal logic. Keeping his stoic face, he asked. "Is there a reason for your visit?" "Because I'm very busy dealing with paperwork." Rolling her eyes, "Yeah, paperwork, who does he think he's fooling?" Meanwhile, Hughes smacked his face. Roy will never change, he has to go with emergency plan 521 to see if they'll bond next time. Coughing to get her dark hair father to notice her again. "I'm here to report some concerns about Fullmetal and his brother, you see. This is not an insult, but they'll end up losing their life if they keep disregarding how reckless they rush into a fight." Pulling a few strands of her hair to go behind her ear. "You see, maybe it is best they have some discipline. Otherwise they will keep harming themselves if they pursue something so blinding." She regret telling one of the boys about the explosion, she thought they will at least plan before charging in. "I'll accept your concern for my youngest subordinate and his brother." Roy replied, "Great, it's not like Edward will listen to him. He tries to protect the brothers without them knowing." Shivering, he disdainfully picked up his pen and began writing a letter. Sealing the letter in multiple envelope, he hands it to Naruto. "Give this to the Ice Queen only." "Gotcha. Bye, Colonel. See you later, Hughes." She was about to hurration out of the office until her uncle grabs her. "But Naruto, don't you want to meet Fullmetal? They're recovering right now, you should go visit, please." Maze pouted. Her lips curled, "No, I need to go. I didn't earn my promotion by just traveling. I need to go back and help people. Besides, I already sent Major Armstrong and suggested to bring flowers. I bet they will love his visit." Clang. A low power kick to the ribs, one criminal gasped at the unexpected pain. It was later followed with a quick series of strikes to his bruised ribs. She ignored the man as he's reduced to fallen lumber. Naruto smirked. Fatty number 12 is down, feeling the air shift. She ducked and sidestepped as her next enemy tried to pitifully smash a crowbar to her right shoulder. She leaps back, performing a handstand, propelling her legs rapidly. The first kick bends the crowbar, the next broke the metal and hit her target, breaking his shoulder. "Back at ya." She fist pumped. One serial killer thirsts to have the blonde boy's blood after seeing the teen's display with his fellow killers. His bloodlust increase, he can't wait to swim in the child's fresh salty crimson. He dropped his weapon and released a crazed yell, charging at the 17-year-old. Naruto unconsciously caught someone's fist. Without realizing it, she jabbed number 14 on his pressure point, rendering him useless. She blinked at the slouch man from her left, shrugging she stepped over him and wiped the blood that splattered on her shoes on his shirt. She scans the warehouse, looks like no one escaped. Man, none of you didn't even give me any challenge. She complained aloud. Clapping both her hands, she focused on the circle hanging on her necklace and created their prisons. Sighing, she focused concentrating on the coral palm technique and shot at all her prisoners. Once the troublemakers are secure, Naruto cancelled her transformation jutsu and alerted her men to move in. Good work, Lieutenant Colonel. Giving a harsh stare at her subordinate, I hardly consider this to be good. They weren't much of a fight. A practice dummy seems to put more effort. I never gotten a chance to take them down using any alchemy. Twitching a smile, everything is just pure fist fight. She joked and reverted back to her serious facade again. Oh, don't be like that, ma'am. I'm pretty sure the general have a new assignment for you. Another Briggs man commented. Pondering, Naruto dreamily sighed, maybe I should have gone doing a massive genocide on Drachma. Heck, she became curious on what Obito and Madara were thinking. She heard Obito used to have been like her. They shared almost the same personality before he changed, so that meant he was fun. Massive genocide might be fun if she was that bloodthirsty for revenge. Her mother would very much like an extinction to Drachma, but even Olivier wouldn't wish to terrorize her enemies. Scratch that. She probably would. The men laugh uneasily, they shiver remembering one of her pranks. How on earth did she made the fort home to many type of insects? The place was a humongous nest. They needed more than shovels to dig through. A few men are scared to crush a cockroach. Just the feeling of millions small insect with their creepy legs crawling all over them. Not to mention some became nests for a few bugs laying eggs in their skin, sent many men to Briggs' special psychiatrist. Briggs soldiers wouldn't have been the same if it wasn't for the general's ability to command bugs without even trying. Naruto was disappointed when her mother took away her new hive. At the end, Olivier let her keep the hive in the underground tunnels. Naruto noted that her men somehow turned pale. Her mother must have urged them to tell her she's needed immediately. Miles stacked the last piece of paperwork left for the general to sign when a gust of wind blew them. The cause of the whirlwind, sheepishly scratched her cheeks. Sweat dropping, the scarlet hair adolescent give him an apologetic look. Sorry about that. Miles sighed, he has to rearrange them in order from importance to most likely trash. Shifting his goggles, when you come back from your next mission. I'll have all your paperwork ready for you to enjoy. There's nothing enjoyable about paperwork. Fit is when you want time away from the front lines. Peace and quiet. More like rotting my brain. She muttered. I think the general is waiting for you. Miles reminded the young girl. Miles observed the young alchemist sweating more than usual before she dashed down the next room. You're late. Ah. Miles starts whistling, picking up the mess Naruto left behind. Olivier gives the young girl a stern look. Are you slacking? You of all people know how it is to be on time. Giving her adopted daughter best companion a skeptical glance and lifting her right arm containing the bracelet. Cocking a brow, giving a how simple is this? The younger of the two mentally face-palmed. Naruto composed herself, bowing to her superior. Sir, I'm told I need to be debriefed for my next assignment. The firstborn Armstrong beamed in pride, almost letting a genuine smile stretch upon her lips. Almost. No doubt Naruto will become the next Briggs General if she wishes to. It took a long time to refine her very short manners, especially the tour training she gave teaching the young girl to stop insulting superior officers of her station. No matter if they're assholes, especially if they're assholes, she'll not let her daughter be charged for something so petty. No, the right way would be destroying their command and claiming it was an accident with plenty of alibis to get away with. We received word that the Fullmetal Alchemist resolved a problem in Lear about a fake priest and religion. I heard of the Church of Leto. Naruto arched a brow. Wouldn't Lear be split and cause a riot? The older women scoffed. Do you think Mustang and his alchemist cares? He lets his dog out off his leash and gives him permission to wander around looking for something, damning the consequences for whatever goal. Causing more damage than the amount they accomplish in getting their jobs done. Naruto silently analyzed the situation. Lear is surely going to be in a civil war if left alone. The alchemist doesn't seem like he would just abandon the place unless he had someone to take care of it. The teen is dangerously reckless, it's the thing, isn't it? The arm, leg, and the other Elric brother's body. Instead of performing another way to get into the Gat, it's possible to avoid any harmful encounter with truth. The only method is the only item considered to be a holy fairy tale quest for unsuspecting alchemist philosopher's stone. Pity, she'll have to strike them if they lust for power. No need for another madman in the world. Besides that incident, at least he was useful in a coal mining town of Yuswell. Your next objective is to be General Halcrow bodyguard, make sure they travel safely to their destination. Taking an envelope from her uniform pocket. Please give this to that poor excuse of a man as well. Yes, sir. Naruto scanned the whole compartment, nothing lethal been hidden. Everything appears to be safe, sir. Naruto bows to the man letting him and his family enter. She was about to leave and head over to where she'll be guarding until the higher official stopped her. Yo, you can stay. We have more than enough room for you and the other guards are capable to keep us safe from a normal train ride. The man smiled uneasily at the child soldier. Really, the idea she's not that young, only a bit older than his son and in the military, made him want to question her parents. If she have any. She must be an orphan. Nodding, she slouched to the far corner near the door. She used the time to meditate and practice sage mode, making sure her hood is up to cover her face. She doesn't want to be questioned about her eyes. Wah. Naruto glanced at her charges watching the family enjoying the train ride. Daddy. This is fast. Wow. The general's youngest daughter squealed. He smiled at his daughter, didn't you promise daddy we'd play a lot after we get there? The 11-year-old state alchemist smiled at the sight, but she couldn't help to feel bitter at Mustang. Not once did the man ever made time for her in his life to do things. In her eyes, his goal is always his first priority. They mostly butt heads whenever he doesn't want her to help her get to know his business. It might be selfish of her to resent the man, she wasn't the best daughter he could ask for either. They were randomly thrusted onto each other. Who knows? He might have been a lonely womanizer who drinks more than he's willing in front of her with a hot-headed temper to set anything up in flames for no reason. Don't forget his godlike ego of her mind. She's starting to think that will never change. Hearing the general's wife snapped her out of her funk. The lull she felt forebode trouble, she stretched her sensory range more wondering what's wrong. Spending time with the family shouldn't be a sin. My second in command is the one who suggested to bring in an alchemist. Isn't she a little young? Asked his wife worriedly. She might be, but I heard good things about the red flash. He assured his wife. Although the woman felt unsure, but will take his word for it. At the moment, a clump containing negative emotions is approaching. The last sign she needed was a guard's life force diminishing to nothing. Sir. Naruto alerted. We have hostiles getting closer. Halcrow half asked. Narrowing his eyes, I hope you're good as they say you are. My wife has your circle within her person. Vanish from sight, engage them, but don't kill. We'll need them for questioning, maybe. In this situation he can't take chances. Your first priority is to keep my family safe instead. Naruto nodded before vanishing from sight, a useful skill she learned from Jiraiya spy tricks that'll allow her to be invisible. The first task she'll accomplish is making sure the civilians are free from being hostages. At most, the general's family will be alright for a while, since she's highly making a gut feeling, suspecting they are bargaining chips for this attack group. Stretching her field of range, she managed to lock on two people she wasn't expecting to be in this ride. She guess either Fullmetal or his brother can handle that train cart. She'll start on the cart next to them and work her way up. Ruffling her bangs in annoyance, she hopes this event at least give her some amusement. Elsewhere on board. The Fullmetal alchemist, Edward Elric, is busy snoring. At least Ed is comfortable. Al noted. One of the henchmen feels like harming the blonde boy, irritated that the sleeping Brad is not taking him seriously. You can sleep pretty well in a situation like this, kid. Dabbing his gun at the boy he yelled. Why don't you act a little more like a hostage, you shrimp? Edward's eyes pops open, the atmosphere tense as he stares murderously at the idiot who dares to call him a sea cockroach. Oh. You got any complaints? The man taunted. Edward darkened more, fuck yes he has complaints. 1. He's been woken up rudely by a brute with no fucking manners, pointing a gun at him like a caveman with a stick. Who the hell does that man think he is? Some whiny teen who'll shit himself at the sight of a gun. It's plain obvious his intelligence is comparable to a rock if he bugs a teen to wake up just to show him how much of a lame bad guy he is. The idiot is clearly using his firearm to overcompensate something he lacks. Ed doesn't like the guy's attitude. God, he sure smells, where the hell did he live? Behind an evil cow's butt. Ed wouldn't be surprised if that slimy white substance named milk is ordering a hit on him. The thing is evil. And 3, the fucking bastard called him small. Clapping his hands on the neck of the rifle, the blonde smiled vindictively at the thug. He'll give him pain. Ed first transmuted part of the gun, shocking the dumbus, and then kicked the man's face with his automail foot. Hearing the crunch of bones beneath his foot sure sound like music to his ears. Alphonse face palmed, he had a feeling this would happen. Not bad, punk. Ed glared, great, another. We're told not to give any mercy to anyone that resists us. Henchman, 2 explained. I don't feel right about shooting a shrimp like you, but as the man was about to pull the trigger. Alphonse intervened, grabbing the man's arm. Now, calm down you two. Hist, the man angrily asked the armor boy. Would you want to put up a fight? The last thing he saw was something black jammed into his face, his nerves went aflame. Ah. Brother. Al screeched internally in horror, witnessing his older brother eloquently made a fabulous ballet leap with his knee out in front and implanting it straight to the man's face. Who the hell is the flea-sized ultra shrimp? Alphonse watched worriedly, his brother was beating the man every inch of his life. While Edward is shaking the man around like a ragged doll. Brother. If you do any more than that, he'll die. Edward stopped, blinking around before looking at the slumped man he's holding. Gazing questionably to his younger brother. Ed pointed at the near-dead man in his grasp. Anyway, who are these guys? Alphonse's head hung down disappointed. So it was only a subconscious reaction from hearing shrimp. Big brother, we're in a hostage situation. Huh? Coughing. So, first we need to tie these guys up. Then beat them for answers. Ed? You already beat them up. Al pointed out. Flushing in embarrassment. I'm still drowsy goddammit. Whatever you say brother. Lay off. Few moments later. Other than us, there are 2 in the engine room. 4 holding the general in the first-class car and 4 of us are guarding the hostages spread throughout the passenger cars. The man said tiredly. And? Ed threatened bringing up his fist. He smirked, enjoying the man's terrified face. Shivering, really that's it. The passengers in the cart were alerted knowing there's more and whether they might come check on them once the group is aware on what happened to 2 of their members. They nervously thought they will not survive. If a certain somebody had acted calmly. This would probably have ended peacefully, right? Alphonse lectured. We can't move on if we only regret the past, little brother. Ed resolutely voiced. Ed stomped over to one of the windows. Can't be helped. I'll take the top. Al, you handle things down under, okay? Okay. The guy spoke out in the crowd, Jay, just who are you people? Ed smirks in pride, alchemists. He slowly moved out of the window, he didn't count the speed of the train. Ed tried to hold on screaming in panic till Alphonse grabbed him and started helping him up. Right, I need to be more careful. He thought, steadily rising to his feet. K. Now, I'm off. While Ed is braving the wind and trying to fight air resistance on top of the train. Alphonse observed and asked questions with the rest of the passengers in different carts. He discovered 1 or 2 individuals from the group strangely magnetized to the ground. Looks like a work from another alchemist, the transmutation circles are bizarre. He have no clue what to make of this. If only Ed was here, he might be able to take a crack out of these circles. Excuse me miss? He asked a lady sitting and watching the view. Glancing, she tried not to flinch at the strange person wearing a suit of armor. Yes. Can you maybe help enlighten me on what occurred over here? Staring dumbly, yes. It was too fast for my eyes, but it happened in seconds. One moment they were just ordering us to stay still, the next they were knocked down in a red blur. If I didn't share my thoughts with everyone else, I sincerely thought I was going crazy. Thank you for your time. He turned and entered the next car seeing practically the same thing. Except these guys are buried up to their necks with sand. How on earth is there sand in here? Was it the same red blur everyone was talking about? Whoever the alchemist wasn't thing, the guy must be a master in a broad amount of categories to specialize in. Sighing, he began to repeat the same drill. Big brother must be having fun. Clunk. 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 Boom. Aye. Daddy, what was that? The daughter of the general asked. Alcro, curious, interrupted the young alchemist who was currently reading a strange orange book. Lieutenant Colonel, what happened out there? She silently turned the page, scanning the inhabitants in the room. The troublemakers are barred up, check. Family just lounging, check. Weapons, check. Nothing is out of the ordinary. Blinking once, did you say something? The general's sweat dropped. What was the sound outside from on top of us? Oh. That well, I placed an explosive bomb in case someone thought they had a smart idea to ambush from the roof. Naruto, I smiled. Rubbing his chin, I wonder who blew up. Shrugging, Naruto went back to her reading. Who knows? Probably a midget. Back to Edward. Breathing heavily, wah. Too close. Pulling out his almost charred boot, a steam of smoke wafted out from his left foot. Edward relaxed as his foot cooled down. I would be a goner if it wasn't for my left foot. Gritting his teeth, damn you. You're going to pay for this. He can't wait to strangle the life out of whoever was responsible for that bomb, but first. He have an engine room to recapture. When he reached to his destination, Edward peered inside only to see the men shoveling coal. There in corner are 2 men encased in an ice prison. Ed blinked, the ice aren't melting. How could ice not melt near a live furnace? Looks like you have to keep moving. Al must have done something, highly doubted, but if Al was able to copy the freezing alchemist, then it's likely possible his brother was responsible for that. He reached to the top, then slowly made his way. The crap, he is very paranoid with traps, how can anybody easily hide one from up here? Okay. Left foot here, right foot there. Left foot or lightning's apt Edward, twitching, he decided traps might be bad for his health. Hey. What do you think you're doing to the tender? That's the life of the train. The conductor scolded. Sorry. Ed grimaced. Ed sat silently thinking, he can't make it across. The traps will surely kill him, he probably need to check on Al for this one. That's when he got an idea. The tender. Naruto was reading one of her Icha books when she sensed an alchemist using alchemy. What the hell is that? If she was a teacher, she will give the alchemist a D on creativity. This might be getting interesting. Is it Fullmetal or Armor Boy about to cause trouble? Attention all criminals. Naruto start drawing a barrier seal in the compartment. Her intuition is telling her she needs to provide cover. Please release the hostages and surrender yourselves. We have recaptured the engine room and the rear cars. All. Double-checking her seals, she ushered the family to huddle in the center. Shaking her head, the alchemist is a reckless idiot. Doesn't he check, and how can he ignore all the prisoners she imprison? The dude have to be brain dead to be ignorant of obvious flags that someone already dealt with the problem. Hey Dumbus. Do your job better. Naruto yelled. All hostages please hide behind shelter. The redhead probably would have felt remorse for letting the criminals almost drown, but she's not. The little kids giggled seeing how the rushing water avoided their small space. At least she opened the windows. Alphonse opened the cart door, water flowed out. An invisible question mark appeared on top of his head, shouldn't they had flushed out? He checked inside, maybe they had the wrong car. Yeah. Al internally squealed, the criminals were barred up already. Brother. Come down here. Al. What's wrong? Ed hollered. You me think we almost drowned the general and his family. Al gulped. What do you mean? We almost what? The leader and his men are captured. Someone beat us to it. Wait, let me see. He dashed into the car and Al is completely right. The leader and his men are imprisoned and gasping for air. His eyes slid over observing the people in the car being completely dry, but his eyes were drawn to a female barely the same height as him. If she wasn't wearing her hoodie up, Ed would be praying for his mother for his stupidity. Ed can feel the massive kai she sent him, that female is not happy. Ed paled, Mustang won't like this for sure, he almost drowned the general. Hi, father. Naruto greeted. This is awkward, Hinata must be a saint. How can she put up with this every single day? Naruto struggled to contain herself. She will not flee from her own father. Behave. 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 Can't run away from him all the time. I mean, he can't ignore the arrogant prick, how the hell are we going to get along? Naruto. What did I said about calling me father during work? Mustang chided. My bad, she laughed uneasily. You said to never under any circumstances to reveal our relationship to others. You specifically ordered me to call you by rank only and no informal way either. If I want to be a dog of the military, then I'm referred to as dog and cannot pick a fight about it. Otherwise I will be grounded, stuck with you at home attached to the hip, even when we have to use the bathroom, you won't care that it is deemed embarrassing as punishment for sneaking out multiple times. You can do this because somehow you convinced the others to let you leave early and finish paperwork at home. I still don't know how you manage that. Your lieutenant is more likely to shoot you than let you get away with it. Oh, where was I? Oh. I'm stuck watching you do paperwork and then become target practice to outrun your flames, or I'll be charcoal once you are done with me, just to show how my life is insignificant because it's my decision to join the military without your consent. Naruto deadpanned. Miffed, you shouldn't be talking. My undercover name is Naruto. She whined. Mustang would have busted out laughing like a maniac. He silently snuffed out the urge to hug his daughter, she reminded him of a cute baby fox pouting adorably. Well, I heard from the general that you've done a marvelous job bodyguarding. Roy said in a straight face. Thank you, Colonel. Is there anything else? Please, like how much work are you going to make me do? Naruto hope he can feel her kai. Roy sighed, scratching his hair. I also receive reports about my alchemist performance. No doubt the Ice Queen will be hearing about this and holds it against me. Do you wish to send any referrals to mark his record as a warning? If so, I'll need the paperwork hand-delivered to me seeing as I'm his superior and responsible for the Elric brothers. The general was laid back about this and passed it on to you, seeing as you were the next highest ranking officer above Fullmetal. It's your decision and how you want to punish him for his careless actions when the situation were under control, and his faulty attack could be deemed as an assassination attempt and could be seen as an enemy to the state. I won't be making any paperwork for this bullshit. Roy coughed, where did she learn such language? Naruto huffed. He might have head straight without knowing anything for a genius, but I can sense he wanted to help. I won't do anything for that. So I won't be marking his records. The best I can decide is a personal punishment or favor he can owe me. Is that clear? Mustang nodded. Thank you, I will be sure Fullmetal hear this. Huffing out her chest, yeah, he better be grateful he haven't aggravated me enough to prank his sorry ass. Naruto made numerous attempts to prank Roy, where he constantly comes out victorious, unless it's one of his lazy or tiresome days. After her first successful prank, he took her pranking nature seriously after feeling the brunt of that trap. It is a great way to stay in shape, honestly his body is more hotter than ever in his opinion. Can't say about actually getting caught if someone incur her wrath in a prank war. He automatically knew who's going to win and has the necessary preparation and a phone call away for funeral arrangements or a specified psychiatrist he has waiting on standby. Oh man. I almost forgot. My commanding officer want me to give this letter to you. Mustang hesitantly grabbed the letter, who knew what that woman did to it. She probably placed a bomb. Okay, he will admit he's exaggerating, but that's one evil sadistic she-devil witch of a woman. Although she's one attractive looking woman. Naruto waited for her leave, but Mustang is still not finished addressing to her. How hard is it to read a letter? Suddenly, he father burned the letter up shaking in rage. Mo god, what is it this time? She mostly have to play peacemaker between them. She dreaded whatever argument they'll have in the future. Well, it looks like you'll be under my command until further notice. The ice troll mentioned how you're starting to get bored. Spending time with dad isn't great. He probably won't let me do anything except paperwork. Naruto is itching to pull her hair. Well, that's good news. She doesn't have to face Miles with her pile of paperwork. They're still going to be doing paperwork. All documents will be transferred to here. A depressing cloud formed, darn. It must be Miles, definitely him. Naruto can hear all the tailed beasts snickering. Kid, you'll never win. If all the cages fell against that thing, including your original father, then you won't either. The fourth even used cage bushin'. Hugging on his daughter's ponytail, come on, I'll have to introduce you to the rest. Nodding, she paced behind her father. Whimpering about Miles not liking her. A blonde woman with a clasp holding her hair is diligently working on her own paperwork, Lieutenant Brita. She called, handing him a stack of paper. Right. He took the stack from her and reviewed the pages. Geez, the colonel's sure letting his work pile up again, huh? Havoc, give me a hand will you? I've got plenty to do over here already. Havoc growled. Next up, puzzled, he asked. Who's this? Lieutenant Yoki. Fallman answered. Remember, the crook who was using the Yuswell coal mine concession to line his own pockets. Anyways, the Elric brothers exposed what that dirty thief was up to, and now he's on the run. The young short spiked-up hair officer is fiddling with an old radio. Rizza paused. Master Sergeant Fury, how's the radio? Tweaking the radio more, Fury is still not receiving a reading. The receiver on this thing has seen better days. I think I'm going to have to replace it. Fury still messing with the radio, gaze in awe as the old radio turned brand new right beneath his eyes. Huh? Fury spun around from his seat, he gasped. Hey, it's Edward and Alphonse. Hawkeye didn't blink, pulling another stack. Welcome back, boys. Go on in, the colonel's expecting you. Ed groaned dejectedly. Well done on the Lear case you two. Nice work. I appreciate you resolving the matter. Mustang praised. No big deal. It's not like we did it for you. Edward retorted. Right. The philosopher's stone. Another false lead. Yeah, after all that the stone was a fake. He confirmed, placing his chin on top of his hand. Sharing his observation to Mustang. Even so the power it gave Cordello was real enough. He transmuted this huge chimera right in front of us. I still wonder how he was able to use the stone to do that. I'm not familiar enough with the field of bioalchemy to really understand it. Alphonse stated. Agreeing with his brother, yeah, I'm kind of curious about that too. It might be worth looking into. Who knows, maybe we'll find something that could help us restore our bodies. It might help if you consulted a specialist. Mustang advised, searching through his files. Both brothers chorused. Fetching the piece of information he needed, Mustang laid the file open for everyone in the office to see. The Sewing Life Alchemist, Shu Tucker. He's done some heavy research into chimera transmutation. I'll introduce you. You would do that for us? Alphonse breathed. Edward was not easily fooled, glaring. Okay, what's the catch? You want something, don't you? He concluded. Don't doubt my motives. Roy argued. I'm trying to repay you for your work on the Lear case. Turning his head away, grimly smirking, doing you a favor is better than being indebted to you. He admitted. Speaking about debts, Fullmetal, what do you know about the Red Flash? He questioned. What about him? Ed scoffed. Why the heck should he know about the other alchemist? Ed is not the type to be listening in on rumors or gossip. I think he's the first alchemist under the command of Fort Briggs. He passed the exam a year later than me, some said the youngest. I know he's a rank higher than me because he completed more missions, which is a landslide from the amount I have done. That's all I heard. Is he going to be able to help me get the Philosopher's Stone? Ed scowled. Mustang arched a brow. No. Do you remember the train incident? Ed gulped. This is not about his mistake, right? And what's the red flash role in this? Alphonse, unlike his brother, piece in the messing puzzle, thanks to speaking with the passengers. Now he understood. The red blur and all the weird circles were from the red flash, and not to mention some of the passenger were unable to see a red blur on the lower cars. How fast can a person be? Alchemy can't do. Teeth added defies laws. Grasping his head, Roy wondered why he deal with these boys. The short one with a bad temper often won't even listen to him. You're not getting a reprimand, Fullmetal. The red flash was also on the train, stationed to be the general's bodyguard. You see, the Alchemist decided not to mark you down on property damage or attempted assault. You were just in the moment and wasn't aware enough someone beat you to it. Roy explained. The red flash will either personally choose a punishment for you, the Alchemist did not like it how you endanger the general. Or may decide that you owe a favor. Ed pondered, he's not technically in trouble, and it's better than what if he was in trouble. Ed can learn to deal with it. Colonel, we haven't seen the red flash on the train. Alphonse broke in. Where was he? Glancing at the invisible sleeping figure on his lap, Roy wondered if she was being a sneaky imp again. He knows she sometimes do impossible things that it is better to not question at all, for fear of getting a massive headache. Roy winced thinking how he heard a rumor about the red flash being a 17-year-old boy. He drank so much that night. His daughter being a boy. She did many strange things, but he drank himself dry, worrying about his 11-year-old, capable of growing something that should not be on a girl. If it wasn't for Naruto checking on him, he might have died of alcohol poisoning. She might give him gray hairs in the future. Naruto should appreciate having such a handsome young father. Oh, why does she torment him to insanity? To answer your question, Alphonse. The red flash is not a male. Roy subtly pushed his daughter off him, but the Elrics don't know that. The red flash Alchemist is actually. Mumbling incoherent words, Naruto got the gif Roy wanted her to show off. Harationing in front of the Elrics, visible. An 11-year-old. Ed was startled the moment she appeared in front of him. He blurts out. You're a girl. Father, do you really believe the boys can get help from Tucker? Naruto asked dryly. Edward wants to learn about biologic alchemy for his project he's researching about. Mustang answered while shifting more of his documents. A project? Is that what they are calling it? Tossing some his paperwork that he thinks are junk to the trash. He quickly wrote a reminder to tell Brita he should ask the maintenance crew to check who's stacking their cars into a pyramid. If I remember from the shock you gave me when you became the dog of the military. Mustang spitefully added. You and Tucker were the only two who passed the exam that year. So, I bet you have a clear idea how successful he was in his line of alchemy. Furiously signing a couple of sheets, maybe you should join us when we get to Tucker's residence. You two can have a class reunion if you like. Naruto's face scrunched up. I'll pass. Suit yourself, you and Fullmetal surprisingly get along very well, he drawled. Flashback. Naruto tilted her head, scanning Fullmetal from head to toe. Thanks for stating the obvious. I can't say the same for you though. Are you sure you are a boy? Your short stature and long hair points towards being a girl. Sputtering, the blonde bean sprout yelled. What did you call me? If it was possible for a suit of armor to turn pale at an instant, she probably believes objects has feelings. Naruto thought she's just imagining things. Note to self. Check if my books are crying out papers. She needs to stop throwing her books and shelve them later. Who are you calling short? That ants are taller than me because I'm the size of a breadcrumb. Face palming, Mustang knew he's going to develop a headache. Fullmetal doesn't look like he'll be calming down with a short comment. Then flashback. Rolling her eyes. I don't know what are you taking, but it has to be that good if you were imagining us not hissing insults at each other. Ah, yes. How can we ever forget you calling Fullmetal a hermaphrodite? Mustang cocked his brow up. Shrugging, so what if he thought she was a boy? She did build that reputation to be anonymous enough to have a nice safe peaceful retirement in the future. No way in her second life, if she does live long to decide about having a family. She's not going to have them be targeted for whatever accomplishment she's making, like how her original dad left her enemies from Iowa. She could recall memories the third had wiped out from her. Those old generation Iowa sleeper nin gather enough intel to warn Iowa of a possible child of the fourth's. The third faked her records, labeling the fourth had a daughter with the Uzumaki's red hair. Seeing how Uzumaki's clan red hair appeared to be more dominant since there was no records of any Uzumakis with a different hair color. Sadly, the imaginary daughter mysteriously died after the fifth assassination attempt. The sleeper nin tried to have revenge. Then the third explained the blonde baby is a hero to the public who wanted answers the following 5 months after the fourth's funeral, once they cleaned up the sleeper nin problem, and the baby was given the surname Uzumaki in honor of Lady Kushina, who was the last of her clan. Oh man. She had forgotten she's helping Hohenheim. Avoiding making enemies in this life going to be hard. Well, good luck with the Elrics. Bye. If anyone asks why she jumped out a window, she'll deny ditching her father so he can handle 2 weird troublesome teens all by himself. No way is she going to be manipulated to babysit them. The red flash was supposed to be with you boys, but she ended up having so many cuts on her skin and was forcefully checked into the infirmary. Mustang eye twitch, his daughter doesn't make it easy. It is like she has a sixth sense to know all his evil intentions. Ed praised whoever made it possible for the Litleno. She's not his height. Annoying girl to miss out on them. He cursed Mustang for assigning her to join them occasionally. Trying to get along to work in a team is not an educated learning experience. Al, unlike his brother, feel concern about the young girl. That's terrible, Colonel. Was there an accident on a mission she was assigned to? Mustang glanced at a specific cracked window from the building behind them. You can say she took a leap of faith to freedom. Ed stared questioningly at his co. What the hell does that mean? He knew it's better to drop it when the bastard is giving a vague answer. It's not an important need to know information for them. Come on Al. Let's get going, we're wasting time here. Once they situated themselves after entering the vehicle, Mustang decided the boy should know more about the sewing life alchemist. Taking out the file he took. 2 years ago, Tucker transmuted a chimera that could understand human speech. That earned him his certification as a state alchemist. I understand human speech, you mean? Ed leaned forward shocked. Wait, you mean it talks? A chimera? Right. Supposedly. It only said one thing. I want to die. Reading the rest of the report. After that, it refused to eat until it got its wish. Ed and Al sat in silence. That was the most depressing thing they ever will hear about a chimera. Roy carefully put away the file, seeing the house getting nearer. The car pulled over and he motioned the brothers to follow as he goes to ring the bell. Man, this house is huge. Ed breathed. Checking how tall the house is, he was surprised to see a giant furry creature soaring on top of him. He screamed as the thing plummeted and used him as a pillow for its landing. Why, are you okay, Ed? Alphonse asked. Couldn't help to feel pity for his brother. The door opened, revealing a little girl followed by a man they presumed to be Shu Tucker. Nina, this is why I told you to keep the dog tied up. Murmuring more insults, Naruto shuffled more files into place. The bastard of a father never labeled these. While she is resting from her escape attempt, her glorious father, now commanding officer, she is stuck under order her to complete his work. If she knew this will happen, she would have never placed a ceiling tag on her to reduce her recovery time. Naruto withdraw her task, her eyes darted from all the places in her hospital room. She knows people can spy or eavesdrop on her. The coast is clear. She effortlessly performs the sign for her known trademark. 7 shadow clones poof into existence. What do you need, boss? One of you remove the tag off my hair. 2 of you will be covering these spots and make sure no one is going to accidentally come in. Place a privacy barrier, one that we can hear from outside this room. The rest is helping me on the old man's paperwork. Naruto commanded. Ah, the clones whined. Naruto doesn't blame them, but this will be faster if her clones cooperated. Pinching the bridge of her nose, the faster this is done. I will let you all have free time to wander off in the city. The group of clones managed to finish under 30 minutes, and Naruto healed all her minor injuries under 12 minutes. Dispelling her clones, she called a nurse over asking for a release form. She gladly went through another checkup to prove her claim. Cloaking herself, she made sure the room was completely dark. She summons her clones back. Guys, you know the drill. Transform into something else and be careful of shadows. We got it, boss. In unison, transform. One by one they step out into the hallway. Naruto transformed as Shikamaru critically examined her clones. Why the hell are you in sexy jutsu? Naruto smacked one of her clones. The other clones wince a little, relieved they did not anger their boss. Shaking her head, well, at least they didn't transform into her old self again. The last time she let them run amok in Amistris. That was very hard to explain to someone why he seen the same boy practically the whole. Thanks for her quick thinking, she made her debut as the Red Flash to the public. When words reached to high command, the Fuhrer had to question her why she was being referred as a boy. Like all little girls that tries to hide something, she made up a lie about dressing up as a boy and about a pervert she thought someone was stalking her at first. Seeing how young and small she is despite having physical training, she explained for her safety that she would like to hide her gender. Elaborated to these pretentious greedy generals she knew, trying to lessen Olivier's reputation on her ability to take command. She simply stated she never said she was a boy and had let the public form their own opinion. She felt no need to have them corrected since it doesn't bother her. The military had wasted their time trying to question her when clearly, she hasn't lied about her gender, seeing as she is listed as female on her file. They let her go quickly, the Fuhrer walked her back to the train station, wishing her a safe trip. She may have believed it if wasn't for his wrathful aura swarming all around him. Safely boarded into the train, it was unnerving how the Fuhrer keeps staring at her. Once the train fully departed out off the train station, Naruto let her guard down, consulting with the tailed beasts about the homunculus. Okay, she wasn't going crazy, her sensory didn't failed her. This is basically a reality check that her job isn't going to be easy as she thought. The Fuhrer is going to be keeping a close eye on her now. Yes, she won't be making mistakes anytime soon. Being transformed as someone else, she impishly planned who she'll mess with first. Her first list of victim is her father, but maybe not. He doesn't have a problem setting unpleasant people on fire. Her father's officer is part of her list, simply being that they are her dad's underlings. As much she wants to mess with the gun lady, that woman will have no problem blowing out her brains. Hell, she wanted to yank those guns and give the lady a taste of her own medicine. The many times she witnesses her father almost getting shot to the head, the blonde shouldn't have a problem if she gets trigger happy on her. The random times she checks on her father, she always catches the blonde woman pointing her gun at him. Sighing, her father has weird taste in friends. So far, she's glad she wasn't introduced to them. Thinking about her father's underlings, her thoughts traveled to her last memory of his youngest officer. She admits she had checked him out. His coloring had interested her, he had golden hair and eyes. She's not imagining it, in the sunlight she saw how they shine vibrantly like the metal itself. She sworn they look familiar, where had she seen it before? Marking that as unimportant in her mind, her time with Fullmetal at headquarters was a little funny. Scratch that, it was hilarious. He really has an issue with all the short comment for some reason. His attitude was less desirable though. One of these days the boy will bite more than he can chew. Walking aimlessly near the marketplace, she bumped into someone by accident. Scratching her fake pineapple head, "Oh sorry man. I wasn't paying attention where I was going." Naruto helped the sunglasses man up, her eyes curiously glance at his cross-shaped scar. The man rudely pushed her away, leaving to wherever he's heading. Shrugging her shoulders, what can you do if people don't appreciate help these days until they desperately need them? Naruto paused, hearing her stomach growled, looks like it's lunchtime. Smiling, she ran to her favorite restaurant in East City. What if Naruto and Oliva Armstrong Full Metal Alchemist end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.